from the 26th Annual Screen Actors Guild Awards, which will be simulcast live on TNT and TBS from the Shrine Auditorium here in Los Angeles. It's all going down tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We're really pumped. I'm Jeremy Parsons, host of People Now. With me is Lola Oganaike, the host of Couch Surfing on People TV. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm so excited to be here.
So pumped. We are live on what tonight is the silver carpet to talk to all your favorite stars, all of our favorite stars.
It is going to be a night to remember. This amazing event is going to be star-studded, as you know. And let's talk about some of the big highlights we're expecting this evening. I know that Renee Zellweger, I have a good feeling she's going to walk away with some serious hardware tonight. But people are talking about Charlize Theron too. I mean, Megyn Kelly was like, well, who am I? Because Charlize Theron is me now.
And
so
we saw that. Megyn Kelly and so many of the women that were actually involved in the story behind Bombshell watched it back. They had an emotional response. Yes. Charlize, so many have responded to that. We're going to talk more to them about it. Look, I'm a bit of a fanboy here for the Leo factor.
I know.
For the Brad Pitt factor. For the Tom Hanks factor, Robert De Niro. I mean, Al Pacino. This is such a star-studded night. It's one of those that the bar has been raised since years past. We've got that A-team back out here.
It's true, because in previous years we've seen a lot of new faces, but this is a return to the A list. I mean, it doesn't get more A list than Leo and Brad and Tom.
When it comes to ensembles, there are so many impressive groupings here, so many categories that, look, it truly is one of those things, we say it every single year, that the nomination is sort of like the highest honor. You really do feel that when you look at a lot of these categories because there's so much talent represented.
Jeremy, you hit it on the head. In the ensembles in television and film, you've got the Parasite team, but you also have the Fleabag team and everything in between. I mean, this has been a remarkable year for television and film. There are so many shows that I could not get enough of, and when I peeled myself off the couch, I couldn't get out of the theater. I kept running back from the theater to my couch, from my couch
You're
to the
binge
theater.
watching stuff, you're going to the theater.
Going to the theater.
Some Big Little Lies chats that we're going to have tonight. So much is ahead. Also joining us tonight, down the carpet, is my People Now co-host, Andrea Belke, and Entertainment Weekly's editor-in-chief, J.D. Heyman. Hey, J.D. and Andrea, how you doing?
Hey.
Hello.
Oh, pretty good. Hello, guys.
We're doing so well. This is my second SAG Awards.
This is my 300th. And we're here on the shimmering silver carpet getting ready to see all of our favorite stars and talk about the SAG Awards. And this is a high honor because, of course, as you guys pointed out, these are actors honoring other actors. Andrea, who are you excited to see tonight?
Oh, I mean, if Brad Pitt shows up, you're going to have to pick me off the floor. I'm going to faint. It's not even a crush thing. I love him so much. I love his movies. Everything about him. I can't wait for him to stop
I
by.
love the way he fed that dog in that movie.
I know.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, one of my favorite movies
Who are you excited to see?
I'm excited to see Jodie Comer because she is very talented and a murderer, and I'm really into the juxtaposition. Yeah, she's a double threat. Anyway, so I'm excited for that. I'm actually excited for a lot of the movie nominations. Jojo Rabbit, one of my favorite movies of the year. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Of course, Parasite. Probably the best movie I saw all year.
Parasite was my favorite as well.
Yeah, you know, that's because you're a schemer. You're a little bit. Andrew's a 30-time winner of Survivor, so
yes.
she likes the dark side.
More like a 3-time Survivor loser, but that's all in the past. It's all fine.
Yeah.
A lot of great TV too. I would love to see the cast of Schitt's Creek here. I mean, they're going to be here, but if they came to our platform, I'd be so happy. Catherine O'Hara. Moira is my favorite character on television.
Well, she's a Canadian national treasure, and I would love to see her too. She's an amazing, amazing, funny actor. And that's the great thing. There's just so many people in this room that are going to be on this carpet from every walk of showbiz life, from the shows you love to the movies you couldn't wait to see. So it's always exciting to see them all mix it up together.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right, back to you, Jeremy and Lola.
All right, here we go. Can we talk about some of the bling?
Of course.
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely talk about it.
This is a woman who needs no introduction.
Yeah, but here we go.
For those of you who do not know, this is Jenna Lyons.
Yeah, former president, creative director of J. Crew, Jenna Lyons. There we go.
The chicest woman on the planet.
Let's talk about this.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, bring it in. Based on what you've seen.
She's my friend, but that's not the point.
Based on what you have seen so far, what are some of the looks that you're expecting, that you're excited to see tonight?
I mean, the thing I've been loving is new for me is the tulle. I haven't seen so much tulle in a long time, and it feels like it's totally been reinvented. It doesn't look like princess dresses anymore. It's become chic and more elegant. And also like bold color, which of course works for me. I love color. So Jodie Comer's dress, I think you saw the Golden Globes, that beautiful jade green, the fuchsia shoes, and the leather, beautiful feather bag. And then the reinvention of the tuxedo, which is my personal favorite. So
about time, right?
Yeah,
that the guys can get a little more creative with the tux.
I mean, Rami Malek has been turning it up, and Timothée Chalamet. I mean, it's amazing.
Who else has been Who else has been killing it on the carpet this season? You mentioned Jodie, Timothée Chalamet, always so great.
I mean, I think, as far as I'm concerned, I was really totally blown away by what I saw the other day. I think Phoebe Waller-Bridge is like shaking it up. Really interesting to see her. I love
that pantsuit was extraordinary.
She looked beautiful, and I love that it felt not what you would expect. I felt like she actually took a chance and took a risk, and I love seeing people take risks. I think that's been really good. Rami Malek as well, wearing the green velvet blazer, I think was a really chic choice. I think there's been oh, go ahead. I know. I can feel you.
Could you feel me?
I could feel you.
Well, because I just wondered from your perspective when it comes to some of these sort of the A-list actors, like the Leos, again, that I keep referencing, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Tom Hanks, some of those guys. Do we expect it to be a little safe territory or maybe a little risk on the tux?
I feel like, if you think about Mahershala Ali, again, one of my other favorites, Lupita, another one who's really stands out. I think that people that are sort of breaking the rules are giving people a license, and I think. But I do kind of love the fact that it's the younger, sort of new people to the scene that are breaking the rules. That makes sense to me. I get it. Like, it takes a lot to sort of break the rules, and I think you need license sometimes. And Leo's been on the red carpet how many times?
Right.
It's probably old hat for him, but for Timothée, he's like, this is his moment. He's not just shaping himself as a movie star, he's shaping himself as a style star, which I love. It's exciting to see.
Yeah.
You know who's killing it on the red carpet today? Jeremy Parsons, style star. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Little
yes.
frock
Oh,
melton.
yes.
And Lola,
oh, yes.
how about Lola in this bow?
I'm
Check
doing
that
a
out.
little
Look at
something.
this.
A little some.
Okay.
Bow down. Bow down.
Yeah, that's right. We're all bowing down to that.
Killing it. Killing it. You both look stunning.
Thank you.
Thank you
Now,
so
Jenna,
much.
you designed the official SAG Awards photo booth. Talk to me about your creative inspiration. How'd you come to be a part of this project? Walk me through it.
Yeah, I think, so believe it or not, much to my mother's deep excitement, I'm launching a show later this year. Terrifying. And it's really focusing around fashion, home, and beauty. And so this seemed like a great opportunity to sort of showcase some of the things and my perspective around those things. And so I decided to do a booth. I've never done it before. It was very nerve-wracking. Do you see the sweat?
You
Yeah,
killed
right.
it.
No,
You
okay, come
killed
on.
it.
It is
No,
interesting to hear that you get
don't
nervous about
sweat.
something like that, though, because you are so good at
I
it.
live in the land of nervous. I
Yeah.
literally.
Well-
but it was fun. So
Michelle Obama is obsessed with you. How do you live in the land of nervous when you've just the first lady repeatedly?
I think that's a mutual admiration society. If she's obsessed with me, I'm deeply obsessed with her. The whole royal
Well,
thing.
thank you so much for talking
Thank
to
you
us.
for having me.
We're
It's
gonna
a
be-
pleasure. It's so exciting to be here. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
Happy
well,
SAG
we're very
Awards.
excited too. Also excited down the carpet, Ben Mankiewicz with JD and Andrea.
Yes, we are here with Turner Classic Movies primetime host Ben Mankiewicz. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. It's not too hot. It's been very hot in years past. It feels pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pleased. This is always a really fun event. It's nice to see. I'm a sucker for that beginning moment when they all say I'm an actor. And you're reminded that it's an art, but it's a job, and that they all believe in it, and this is a guild, and they look out for each other. I'm always moved by that.
There's nothing more collegial or friendly than the acting profession. Everybody's always rooting for each other. Now, that's not actually true, but Ben, you've seen 8 billion movies, and this was a great year for film, and
Yeah.
I know you have strong opinions, and I'm just wondering what you are coming into this show, looking at all these casts coming in, what movie you really kind of are rooting for, you really loved. And please pick a favorite and a least favorite.
Sure.
No, you don't have to do that.
Well, first of all, you have touched on a show that I'm trying to pitch around town called Strong Opinions, where people just sit around the table and yell really aggressive opinions at each other. I think the time is now for a program like that. I liked a lot of movies this year. I thought Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was perfect. So if you ask me if I have a favorite, that's what it is. And I think it has some chance of winning. I was just looking at the odds for the Oscars, and it's really an open field. But those are the two favorites: 1917 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. For the actors, I think we kind of know who's going to win. I think Joaquin Phoenix and Renee Zellweger are prohibitive favorites in the movie categories, and Laura Dern and Brad Pitt in the supporting categories. I would be very surprised if it didn't play out like that.
Okay. Yeah, we're kind of rooting for Brad Pitt over here on this
It's kind of hard
platform.
not to root for Brad Pitt.
I think it's about time that guy caught a break.
I know.
All his
He's
life.
struggled for so long.
For decades, he's
I
been
know,
struggling
I
in this
know.
town. People averting their eyes when he walks in a
I
room,
know.
and now finally they see he's got some talent. Yeah.
Box office poison, Brad Pitt is what we used to call him. When you're thinking about film and where we are in terms of the movie industry, obviously a lot of challenges to getting people into theaters. One of the things that was exciting about this year in film was that there were some big, sweeping, ambitious movies that were really made for the medium. I'm thinking about 1917 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that just had this sort of large canvas. Do you think we're going to see more and more of those kinds of, I would say, like David Lean-esque with 1917, you know, big sweeping kinds of films?
Well, you know, you're asking, right, you ask a Turner Classic Movies host whether, first of all, I would like it if we saw more David Lean-esque movies. I think the answer would be yes. You know, I don't know whether we will. I'm actually sort of encouraged by the thought that a big movie, not necessarily an epic on the lean scale like The Irishman, that we just may have to readjust where we expect to see those movies, and that once we can get past the wringing our hands that maybe some of those movies are going to come up first on streaming services, but we still need to think of them as movies, I think we'll be okay. It's certainly in a medium that is dominated by one company that is producing a similar kind of movie, whether you love those movies or don't like them, and a lot of them have great merit as art. It is nice to see, you know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, you know, Two Popes even, all these movies that are being considered at one award show or another, in one category or another, that were really made for grown-ups, you know, and you can certainly throw Little Women, Ford versus Ferrari in that group as well.
Yeah. So obviously you've been coming to award shows for a while, but is there one person that would make you fan out the most if you got to meet them?
Well, so one of the great things about this job is I've made so many great friends in their people in their 80s or 90s who seem to like me inexplicably. I mean, they like the channel, and then I don't offend them. That's really what's happened. But certainly, I mean, we had Sophia Loren at our film festival a couple years ago, and that was really, and for everybody who worked at the channel, like all of a sudden the green room, there were like 72 people there, found some reason to be there. And then you couldn't speak to her. Like you just thought, because it's the queen. So I don't know that there's a person on the planet who who will be here tonight who would make me feel the way Sophia Loren did. But I love artists, man, and I like being around them. I like sort of feeding off their energy. And that's one reason why this night is so great. You know, I mean, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I mean, Jason Bateman made me cry with his speech. You know, and so, you know, you never know the moment that's going to catch you. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of people here who I will get a little, you know, my throat will clam up a little bit, and I'll try to play it cool, but I'll fail. Yeah.
This year, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, some other films are really celebratory of this industry and of Hollywood itself, which must touch you a little bit. You come from a Hollywood sort of family.
Yeah.
When did you know for yourself that this would be your métier, that you would want to be watching old movies all the time?
When did I know it would be my métier?
Yeah, was there a singular moment, an epiphany? Was it Sophia Loren and Houseboat? What was it? I like how I worked Houseboat into that
was
one.
nice,
Yeah.
totally. That's the movie where Cary Grant fell in love with Sophia Loren.
No, there you go.
You know, who can blame him?
It's got a good little
so
song
much
in
so
there.
that he took his wife off the picture and put Sophia Loren in it. That's a sign that your marriage is in trouble when your husband fires you from a movie and hires Sophia Loren. I mean, when TCM hired me, no, you know, it was a slow process for me. I grew up in D.C. I grew up in the political wing of my family, and so politics was the thing I cared most about, still care deeply about it, still talk a lot about it. Hard not to throw something in here. I won't. So, you know, it was a slow process. Like, to me, it was like, that's my grandfather, and who wrote Citizen Kane, and my great uncle who won a bunch of Oscars. Like, that was just the L.A. version of the family. And then I came out here and I started seeing how many people had such a deep appreciation for that era and specifically some of the work that my family had done. And then it started feeling like an obligation that I wanted to take on, not an obligation you run from, but something that you're sort of proud to carry on. And it's taken me a while to get comfortable in those shoes, and some days they don't fit exactly right, but I still feel like I ended up in the right place.
All right. Thank you so much for stopping by and talking with us.
It's rare I get an opportunity to talk about my métier, so it's a thank
Anytime.
you.
This is the métier corner.
All right, we're going down the carpet. The first award announcement of the night with Logan Browning and Courtney B. Vance. Take it away, Jeremy and Lola.
Yep, thank you very much, Andrea. Right now, we are joined by SAG Awards Ambassador Logan Browning, hot off that pre-party last night from Entertainment Weekly, and SAG-AFTRA Foundation President Courtney B. Vance. Great to see you both.
Courtney, yay!
Courtney, this is your first SAG Awards as president of the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. How's it feeling so far?
It's an honor, and it's very exciting for all that the that the SAG-AFTRA Foundation has coming to it, and I have some very exciting news for a little later on, so stay tuned for that. Yes.
Nice little tease.
I ain't giving you nothing else.
Oh, that's just a little something.
Yeah, it's just a little something. The stunning Miss Lola over here.
I'm no Angela Bassett, but I'm trying.
Stunning in her own right, yes.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Now, Logan, before Courtney keeps gushing about how beautiful I am, can you tell us about your duties as ambassador for the 26th Annual SAG Awards, please?
It's been pretty incredible because this is my first time at the SAG Awards. So basically, I get to learn all about the history, all about the proceeds going towards the SAG-AFTRA Foundation, and I also get to attend all of the rollout events. So it's been pretty special for me.
That is really cool, really incredible. All right, let's get to the awards here. First up, Courtney going to announce the Outstanding Action Performance by a Stunt Ensemble in a Motion Picture. Take it away, sir.
The nominees for Outstanding Action Performance by a Stunt Ensemble in a Motion Picture are Avengers Endgame, Ford v. Ferrari, The Irishman, The Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And the winner is...
Drum roll, here we go.
Avengers Endgame.
Woo! All right, let's hear it for Avengers Endgame, everybody.
That's
Yes.
the first award of the
clapping.
night.
Very beautiful.
First award of the night.
Oh, here, I'll grab that
There
from
you
you.
go. You hold on to that. All right, congratulations to all of them, Avengers. All right, next up, Logan is going to announce Outstanding Action Performance by a Stunt Ensemble in a Comedy or Drama Series. Logan, take it away.
Thank you. And the nominees for Outstanding Action Performance by a Stunt Ensemble in a Comedy, or you already read that. Okay, here we go.
No, it's official, though.
They're
You had to
ready
get the official info.
They want to know. We've got Game of Thrones, Glow, Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, and Watchmen.
We had our guesses. We'll see here.
We did have our guesses.
You don't know, right?
I don't know.
Wow.
Game of Thrones.
Yes. Give it up for Game of Thrones, everybody.
That's amazing.
Dun, 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 dun,
Cue the music.
dun, dun.
That's my show.
All right.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats to them. The first SAG Awards of the night just announced right here. Thank you both for joining us. It's good to see you both. Congrats on everything. And let's check back in with Andrea and JD down the carpet. Good to
The
see you.
carpet is gearing up. JD, so for people that don't know what happens here at the SAG Awards, what's kind of the order of events here?
Well, listen, there's a huge and incredible red carpet, but then we get into it, and of course people know the moving and emotional stories of people who were once waiters and chambermaids and couriers and now are extremely rich and successful and beautiful. And that is the I Am the Actor speeches. Then we get right into it. We'll do one award after another. And of course, these are all acting-driven awards. Don't come here for screenwriting, directing, anything else. They are the only award show that will award an ensemble award, which is interesting, and that kind of gives you some indication of how the Oscars may or may not go, because obviously that's their way of awarding a film project. So that's, you know, that's the general run of show. And then we got the big actor statue everywhere, kind of strangely endowed green Grecian fellow who symbolizes the dramatic arts.
There you go.
Thank you,
There you
Gail.
have it. Now, we're going to see a lot of people coming down. Do you think we're going to see J-Lo? She's going to be here. She's nominated for Hustlers. Do you think that she would maybe stop?
I certainly hope so. I think that would be amazing. She always looks amazing on the red carpet. And this was an incredible performance that she gave. You know, obviously, people had high hopes for her for getting an Oscar nomination, but this is a huge nomination for her. Golden Globe nominated and SAG nominated. She's going to look spectacular, I know. She never phones that in, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. What about TV? I know I mentioned I really love Schitt's Creek. Do you have a favorite TV ensemble that's nominated?
Well, I got to say, I mean, there's so many that I love. I do love The Crown, though, and I thought this season The Crown was outstanding. And seeing this new cast of actors playing the royal family, particularly with what's going on currently within the royal family, it's very interesting to watch. And Olivia Coleman's one of my all-time favorites. How about you? What are you excited about on TV?
Well, I like Barry. I like the Kaminsky Method. There's a lot of TV I really like. Obviously, Fleabag. We're kind of saying goodbye to Game of Thrones here, but
I
we're
know,
gonna
this
see the
is
cast
it
of
for
Game of
them.
Thrones. It's the last hurrah.
Yeah, and you know, it's great because there are only 75 people in the cast, so they'll all crowd around here, and we'll try to get as many questions in for you as we can. But very exciting to see those people together one last time. Of course, there's a prequel, so maybe some of them will show up in that.
All right, back to you, Jeremy. Jeremy and Lola with a nice champagne toast.
Yeah, here we go. Is this the best part of the night? Perhaps.
Yes.
I don't know. We're here with Vitaly Tatangier, President and CEO of Champagne Tatangier, and beloved actor Carrie Elwes. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here, the both of you. We're about to open the 26th Annual SAG Awards with a very special toast.
That's right.
Vitaly Champagne Tatangier, it's been kicking off the SAG Awards since 2001, if I got it right. Why is this champagne toast such a fun tradition?
I think this is something which is not obvious now, but you will see that after. The champagne is emotion, it's also celebration, and with the movie industry, I think it's something which is fantastic. So
I completely agree with you.
Me too.
Very good.
Oh no, Carrie, you're here tonight as a nominee with the cast of Stranger Things.
Yes.
And you're also part of season 3 of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Woo!
Small shows. No one's ever heard of those. Just kidding. How would you compare those two casts? Who's crazier? Who gets more wild when the cameras are off?
No, you know, they're both my family, so I can't pick one over the other. But so much fun to work on both shows, truly, truly.
You're living the life.
We're loving both of them, and it's a pleasure to have you here as well.
Jeremy.
It is time to raise our glasses to the 26th Annual SAG Awards and officially kick things off. Cheers,
Cheers.
to the Screen Actors Guild.
Salut.
Woo!
Salut.
Woo-hoo! Thank you. Vitaly, Carrie, thank you so much for joining us. Right now, we're going to go back to Andrea and JD and drink
Cheers
up.
again.
Cheers again.
All right, people are starting to arrive. We just saw Catherine Newton from Big Little Lies. That is a show that a lot of people are talking about.
Love that show because it's about happy families and contented marriages, and you just leave laughing every time. Actually, that's
Yeah.
not true at all. She looked, the actress just went by, just amazing looking
It's
dress.
stunning. So she's going to come stop by, I think, in a little bit, but I can't wait to talk to her. Obviously, that's such a powerhouse cast as well. You have Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, Zoe Kravitz,
Meryl Streep. Meryl
Up-and-coming
Streep.
actress. Maybe you've heard of her, Meryl
Yeah,
Streep.
I think she's gonna be something someday. I'm glad she got this
Yeah.
break. But it is incredible because that's not alone in television. You know, you have Big Little Lies with this incredible cast of actors. You have The Morning Show with an incredible cast of actors. Just one star-studded cast after another. It really shows the power of television in this era. People want to do TV, they want to be on these streamers, and they're making some of the best work of their careers. I mean, if you watch The Crown this season, it was almost like watching one feature film after another. So that was pretty exciting to me.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, especially if Big Little Lies comes back. Now, Nicole Kidman hinted to us recently at an award show that there's a possibility. So I'd like to get a follow-up of that. I hope it comes back.
Well, there's a lot of stress up there in the Monterey Bay area. People are very, very stressed all the time. You know, they threw that guy down the stairs, and then the next thing is mom's in town, and she's mad at everybody. And you think it would just be beautiful to just be living up there near Big Sur and everything, but no, it's not nice at all. And so, yes, I would like another season of high anxiety in the most beautiful part of California.
What about, so we mentioned Meryl, we mentioned all these people everyone knows about, but for Entertainment Weekly, are there some up-and-comers that Entertainment Weekly is especially looking out for?
Well, I mean, I love Jodie Comer, who is obviously amazing as a murderer and hilarious as Villanelle. And, you know, so I love her. I think there's so many. I mean, that's the great thing, and there's so many talents. Look at the actors in 1917. Look at the actors in all of these projects. I mean, we have some super A-list stars, but there are a lot of people who are making a huge impact very early in their careers, and they're just getting a lot better material to work with and a lot more opportunity to perform sort of moving, sort of award level work earlier in their careers because there's just a lot more opportunity.
Yeah. All right, you see behind us there, if you can see her.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, right there on the screen, yes.
Oh,
Looking great,
look
Catherine
how pretty
Newton.
that is.
Can't wait to talk to her. All right, back to you, Jeremy and Lola.
Woo! Everybody's loving Stranger Things these days.
Yes. Hi, Priya. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, what's it feel like to be a part of one of the biggest shows on television? At such a young age. You're a wee one, but you're doing big things.
You know, it's really cool. I enjoy it a lot. The whole cast is just really nice. Like, we all get along really well, and it's been an amazing experience so far.
All right, now you're, you know, kind of being tight-lipped with us. Season 4 of Stranger Things is in the works.
Yes.
Can you tell us anything about it?
I can't say anything. The only thing I can say is that it's going to be a really impactful and amazing season.
All right. Well, we're looking
Come
forward to it
on,
for sure.
we go way back now. You've been up here for a grand total of 45 seconds. You can tell us a little something, just a little something.
I can't say anything. I'm not trying to get fired.
Okay, no, that
You
makes
want to
sense.
keep your check. I understand.
But let's talk about this. When it comes to an event like this, the cast shows up. At this point, it's something that the honors are there. You know that people love it. It must feel like a bit of a family reunion and just kind of like kick back and have a good time. Is that the vibe?
Yeah, definitely. The cast reunites together. We all get to see each other again before before filming. So it's really cool, and I'm really excited to see them.
You know what I want to know? Take me back to the moment when you found out that you'd actually landed a part on Stranger Things.
Yes. When I first found out, I was coming home from school, and my mom just had got off the phone with my manager, and she was like, I got some good news. And I was like, what? And she was like, you were on Stranger Things. And I was like, oh my gosh,
That's
so
incredible.
cool. And when I found out they were bringing me back as recurring for season 3, that was when I was like really excited, and I just couldn't wait.
And then when it comes to that first day on set, I feel like that's something you would never forget. What stands out to you the most? The story that maybe you tell some of your friends when you're hanging out?
When I first got there, I was a little nervous, but it was really sweet because Caleb knocked on my trailer, and we just met each other, and ever since we've been really good, cool.
It must be nice to work with other young people as well. You mentioned Caleb, but you got Millie Bobby Brown in the house too. What does it feel like to be around other kids and you're actually all happen to be working?
You know, they're all like older than me. I'm 13 and they're like 18, 16.
You're very mature.
Yeah, thank you. So it's definitely like a huge stretch, like a huge gap, but they treat me really well. We all get along like well, and they treat me like my big brothers and older sisters.
Yeah. Well, it's so good to see you. Congratulations on everything. If you see David Harbour out there, tell him to come over, okay?
Okay.
Have a good night tonight.
time.
We're going to
Thank you.
head down the carpet to JD and Andrea.
Well, we are here with the stunning Catherine Newton in Valentino tonight, looking amazing.
Thank you.
Catherine.
There's no big little lie about it. That's a pretty good dress. Wow.
How are you
Look at
feeling?
that.
It means so much coming from you guys. I mean, like, you know, I kind of look in the magazine and I look at everyone's best dressed like the next day. I was just doing that for Golden Globes in your mag. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Was it right away when you knew you wanted to wear this, when your stylist approached you with it?
I mean, it was hanging in my house, and I woke up today and it was warm out and sunny, and I was like, this is a dress for a sunny day, and I want to feel like the sun, and it's just bright and fun. And I was like, yes, thank you, Valentino.
So gorgeous. Also, you do such a great job on Big Little Lies.
Thank you.
Do you have a favorite memory from season 2?
Oh, one of my favorite memories is definitely, I mean, I have the best scene partner, Reese Witherspoon, but in between scenes, we did dance parties the entire day. So there was never like quiet time or like where anyone's really studying. There's Andrea Arnold, our director, blasted music. So we genuinely danced while everyone was setting up the camera and the shots. We were dancing, headbanging.
So people who watch the show know that he has incredible taste in music. I mean, the whole soundtrack, everything. So what did you dance to in your dance party?
Well, Jean-Marc Vallée, that was his rap gift the first season, it was what was going to be
like
the soundtrack.
Like a mixtape, basically.
It was like a mixtape.
Right.
And I still play it all the time. I have like 3. I took a couple extra. But I don't know, we danced to a lot of hip-hop, actually. And then for Abigail, I'd be surprised it'd be hip-hop. Sometimes it'd be like some classical song that was really sad, and she would just keep playing it. Then she'd start rolling, and she would just keep playing the music. So, I don't know. The music sets the tone. So music is really important.
Real quick, before we toss it back, what's the go-to move when you're doing the dance-offs with Reese?
Oh, a classic headbang for me. I do a good hair flip.
Nice.
Yes.
All right.
So this woman has danced with Reese Witherspoon, and I hope Meryl Streep, and now we're going to take it back to Jeremy and Lola at the top of the carpet.
Yeah, we're very excited here, Mr. Jared Harris and Mrs. Harris. Allegra, good to see you. We were just listening your SAG. So you were at the SAG Awards for Benjamin Button, for Mad Men a couple times.
Mad Men a couple of
now
times.
Chernobyl. This is your 4th-ish time.
Lincoln was
5th
nominated,
time.
yeah.
I mean, it's just, who's
It's
really
5.
counting, honestly?
It's 5, yeah.
Yeah, but okay,
Yeah.
so to be here for this project, something that people really caught on to.
Sure.
How does that differentiate this time?
It's always exciting when people like what you do, because that doesn't always happen.
Right. Sure.
So it's always a thrill, yes.
What are you looking forward to this evening? Because, I mean, so many stars are in the house, amazing projects in film and television, but there has to be one thing that's got you peaked, other than possibly walking away with some hardware this evening.
Let's see. I really enjoyed Jojo Rabbit. I'd like to meet.
Yeah.
I thought Tahiti was brilliant in that, and he should have been nominated for Best Support. I thought he was really, really good in that as well. But I love the kid. I'd like to say hi to the kid. Who are you excited to, or who would you like
Well,
to?
the great thing is, as you know, my husband is an actor. And this is the SAG Awards, which is by actors for actors. So it's nice to be, it's like a private club where most of the suits aren't here. So they get to kind of relax a little bit among their peers. And I like watching that.
And that kind of special acknowledgement also good. Something that I'm looking forward to is asking you about murmurings I'm hearing about Morbius with Jared Leto, and if you are going to be Dr. Octopus. Is this Dr. Octopus before us?
What's that? I don't know where that rumor started. I imagine that Sony will stomp on it pretty soon.
Okay.
I don't play Dr. Octopus.
Okay. What kinds of things, what are you looking forward to coming up? You know, it's a night like this, we're celebrating what has been done, but then there's always that gaze toward the future as well.
I'm working on a show for Apple at the moment. We're doing the Isaac Asimov Foundation book. So it's a big sci-fi series. It's the sort of like the original Uber text of the sci-fi world. So, and a lot of the like Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, X-Men, Star Trek, they all borrowed things from these books.
Now, we hear from people that the red carpet can be a little nerve-wracking. Is there anything that you do to get yourself centered? Do you listen to music? Do you eat certain things? Do you have certain rituals? Let us know.
Pre-game routine.
We listen to disco when we're getting ready.
All right.
I had a nap in the car.
Jared had a nap in the car. I sent a picture of that to his PR girl.
Very exciting.
I grab his butt so he smiles in pictures.
Oh, okay.
Which is what I'm doing right now.
Wow, and it's working.
Oh,
Look,
yeah, I
he
see.
gets a smile and a wink, the whole thing. So I'll ask you, how is he on the dance floor? You said the disco music, so...
Nice.
My husband is a product of the disco era. He is the first person on the dance floor, and clothing starts to fly off of him.
All right, can you show us a little something? No, come on.
Okay, is it just the pointing thing? Okay.
Get down on it.
Oh, there we go.
Get down on it.
He gets disco if you really want it. Get
Okay,
down-
we'll
he
find
gets
you in the
disco
after
shoulder.
party. I'm going to rescue you. You don't have to do it right now. We're going to go back on the
Starts
carpet to
dance floor.
JD and Andrea.
It's true. People don't know that about Jared.
A lot of people showing up right now. It's getting really exciting, JD.
Yeah.
We just had Catherine Newton, and now we have more big Little Lies stars. So the Cravetti twins and Ivy George are going to be coming up very shortly. Last night, they showed Lola and me how to do the floss.
And are you good?
No, I still can't figure it out. It was
Terrible.
super embarrassing.
I honestly don't even know what that is.
Wow, guess what, JD? When they're here,
They're gonna
shortly,
floss for us?
They're going to teach you how to floss, and I can't wait to watch
I have a feeling
you.
I'm going to be a very good flosser. I'm going to be like an American Dental Association grade flosser, so it's going to be awesome.
I really like that people are in such great moods when they're here, and they're ready to dance it out, have a good time.
Generally speaking, this is one of the happiest award shows in town, and I think that is because it is a sort of actors club. People come here, they're happy to see each other. You know, they still have to get dressed up and get spackled and, you know, cinched into things, but they're happy to be with their colleagues, you know, their coworkers, and you get this real sense that people are just really appreciative of being with their peers, which is nice.
All right, can't wait to dance out soon. But first, back to Jeremy and Lola.
Here we go.
Hey,
okay, so
guys.
we've been talking about the Irishman.
Yes.
Of course, there's that great ensemble. Part of it, the ladies coming in strong here. The ladies of the Irishman, the Irish ladies here.
This is Robert De Niro's wife.
Yes, hey.
Robert De Niro's daughter.
Hi. Joe Pesci's wife.
Okay.
And I play Al's wife, Al Pacino's wife.
Okay, but actually give us your real names before you do that.
My name's Welker.
My real
White.
name is Stephanie
Catherine
Kurtzula.
Narducci.
Okay, read them all at once.
Lucy Galena.
All right. And can we mention this, Robert De Niro with being honored tonight? Let's just talk about just the impact that's been left on you and why tonight and that award for him will be such a special moment.
Well, I can't think of another actor who has had the kind of impact on our profession as much as he has. I think he's not only is a consummate professional, but when we think of the great actors, he's in the top 5 or 10, right?
Yeah,
Always
and
mentioned.
now that I've played his wife, I'm in the top like 50 by association.
By association,
Yeah,
it's
of
automatically
course.
there. The
Yeah.
degrees of separation.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Through osmosis. Now, you know, people who work with Robert De Niro tend to call him Bob. Are you on the Bob? You were in the Bob range with him now?
I'm kind of thrilled to say, yeah, I call him Bob.
I am also, I call him Bob.
Yes, a few people
Yes.
I want to know, honestly, did you watch the whole thing in one sitting?
Yes, Marty invited us to a screening, so we sat and we watched it in a private screening, and it was amazing. We were all blown away.
Yeah.
When you say Marty, you mean Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese, not Scorsese.
Scorsese.
That's right.
Scorsese, get it right.
Scorsese.
You were also in Goodfellas. Talk to me about how Irishman kind of harnessed a certain sensibility and sort of a cinematic tone that harkened back to movies like that.
Yeah, I think a few people have talked about it. Some critics have mentioned particularly that opening shot in The Irishman being the tracking shot and has echoes of that famous Coppa tracking shot in Goodfellas, and I think the two films really speak to each other. Very much so. This one being made by a man looking back, about a man looking back.
You know, because Scorsese and Pacino and De Niro and Pesci have all worked together, did they have a code language? Did they have a sort of, were they able to telegraph?
They actually do. They have their own selves. They have their own brotherhood. They're like family. And Stephanie and I got to witness that even in the back of the car.
All the
time. We had a
time.
long road trip that we worked for weeks on, me, Stephanie, Bob, and Pesh, and we would sit and, like, during breaks and just listen to them talk, and it was wonderful.
Telling stories about the old days. You remember this? And we just sit there and try not to eavesdrop, but look at each other and giggle like, we just heard that.
talk about their kids.
Yeah.
Okay, I need a
Harkening back
nickname.
to, I was singing Lois's Lucky Hat. I'm kind of harkening back to that. Is there, do you still have the Lucky Hat?
I didn't take the lucky hat.
Take the lucky hat?
I never had the lucky hat.
Okay. All right, well, that's all I got.
Sorry.
Did you take anything home from The Irishman? Because I think this is one of those films you want to have like a keepsake.
Little memento.
I have a sweatshirt.
Okay, sweatshirt that the crew cast got.
You've got.
I've got slippers from it.
Smart girl.
Slippers from one of the pajama scenes. They let the cast, the outfit people, the costume people let me keep slippers, and my little sister wears them now. Bunch around.
It's really great to talk to you all. Congratulations on this. I can tell this is going to be a fun group tonight. We're going to be looking for you at that after party.
You mean at the bar?
In the
bar. At the bar.
We'll be at the bar.
All right.
Wherever. We'll find you.
And you'll
Back
give
down
me
to
my
JD and
nickname
Andrea,
then,
guys.
right?
All right, we're with some kids from Big Little Lies. It's Nicholas and Cameron Cravetti and Ivy George. Hello, everybody. You look so dapper. How are you all doing right now?
How are you?
I'm great. So last night at the Entertainment Weekly party, the pre-SAG Awards party, you taught me and Lola how to do the floss. So now my man JD wants to learn.
I want to see how you do it.
Okay,
Just break
so
it
can
down
you
for me.
teach
You got to take it
JD?
very slowly. One move at a time.
Like this.
Okay.
And then just go in like that.
And you go back.
Over your hips, and then take it out again. And then your
Oh,
left
you gotta
hand
take
goes
it out?
behind your back. And then goes over your
Yeah, where?
And
Oh,
then
I
go
see.
back
But
in.
there's a little behind. There's a little behind action.
It's like first.
Okay, let's see the
like
finished
that.
product.
Let's do it. Oh, wow. But he makes it look so easy. Like,
you go.
like it's poetry in motion.
All right, and
But I
Ivy
love
George,
that.
come up here. You look so beautiful. I
You
love
guys
this
match.
dress.
It's sort of the
a little
sea
princess
foam.
moment.
Yeah.
Now, they told me their favorite part about Big Little Lies. They got to teach the floss to Meryl Streep, which is incredible. What was your favorite part about filming?
I love the whole thing. Just like being with all the people and being on set. It was one of my favorite projects I've worked on. Yeah.
You all did such wonderful jobs and have so much fun today. Yes.
Well, thanks for stopping by, guys. We're going to take it back to the top of the carpet where Jeremy and Lola are with a legendary performer from Live and Let Die to Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, the amazing Jane Seymour. Take it away, guys.
Jane, we are so happy to have you here. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
You know, we were at the party last night at EW, and you told us a really, really funny story. You have to share it with the audience today. It involved a little intimate scene.
It did.
Do tell.
So in the Kaminsky Method, I'm playing Alan Arkin's love interest. You know, the idea is that we dated 50 years ago. We've just found each other after 50 years being married to other people who've passed away. And you know, Chuck Lorre doesn't actually let you know what's in the next episode.
No, he
so
doesn't.
we were at the read-through, and afterwards, you know, Alan and I both noticed we were going to be intimate. And his wife's, you know, watching the read-through. So he turns to me and says, Jane, do you have some time? I said, yeah. He said, could we have brunch together with my wife? Because I think she should meet you. And so we had a wonderful brunch together. And his wife, Suzanne, who's fabulous, and I, like, really hit it off. And we had a really funny time.
And she gave you her blessing.
Oh, more than my blessing.
Yes.
She said, take it. Okay. No, she did. And she loves it. She's fantastic. But she was all for it.
I'll tell you, it really worked out. The Kaminsky Method is just fantastic. I was thinking about this with the Screen Actors Guild Awards and thinking about what it means to be an actor. Do you remember the project where you finally got your SAG card?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that is good. I would imagine it would be the first one I did when I came to America, because I already had, you know, the English equity thing. I think I was playing an Israeli tank commander in an episode of McCloud.
Wow!
Like, wouldn't you just say I would be perfect for an Israeli tank?
Exactly right.
That's when I knew that American television was different from British.
Okay.
Talk to us about your career. I mean, talk about career longevity. What has been your secret? Because you've starred in a number of films, a wide range of material. How do you go about choosing your projects, and how have you stayed in the game this long?
Okay, so first of all, I was playing exotics, you know, Live and Let Die and a Persian princess in Sinbad. Then I got to play ingenues. Then I got to play virgins for way too long, including Dr. Quinn. Then I played everyone you've ever heard of, like Maria Callas, Wallace Simpson, you know, Marie Antoinette, in different languages.
Right.
Then I got to play victims, because they saw I could cry. Warren remembers. Then I got to play evil people, because I was married to James Keach. I think he thought it would be fun for me to kill people. And now I put a grey wig on, I'm playing the oldies. The next one up, I'm playing Eleanor of Aquitaine at the age of 80 and 20.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
I mean, it's unrivaled what you've done and what you're continuing to do. And by the way, I love your spirit. You've got such a vibrant spirit. You were saying we will probably see you out there on the dance floor, kind of bust and move at the after party.
All right, show us a little something.
I can't waste those Dancing with the Stars moves.
That's right. It's such a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we're gonna help you right down off the stage here as we welcome up some of the cast of Marvelous Miss Maisel coming right on up here. Stephanie, Joel, and Matilda. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, how are you?
So
Jeremy, it's
good
great to see you. Hi, how are you? Oh my goodness, great to
Nice
see
in a
you
row.
guys.
My girl.
Okay.
Okay, so Jeremy,
Okay, hi.
we are Instagram friends, and we never met in real life, and we met last night, and here we are again.
And it's happening.
Together.
Real Insta becomes real life. It's unbelievable. We all really exist in the world.
It's even better in real life.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
I would imagine as actors, it's obviously a privilege to be at the Screen Actors Guild Awards, but to walk in on a show that every other actor's talking about, that's got to be even next level. What's that vibe like for you?
I'm still pinching myself every day, so
Yeah.
I'll believe it someday, but I still don't believe it.
Yeah. How about for you?
Also pinching.
Also pinching.
Also
okay.
pinching.
Yeah.
Well, take us back to the moment when you found out that you'd landed a role in this show. And when you realized that it was going to be this huge, you were there in the first season, but you all are newcomers. Walk us through.
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So when I found out that that I had landed the role that I was going to be recurring, and they picked up the pilot, I was at the gym. I was like half naked. I was wearing like one sock here, and I was just like, you know, towel here, and I just started screaming, and all the ladies in the gym were like, you know, like,
what is happening?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, you know, 3 years later, I'm just still so grateful. I feel so lucky to be a part of something so wonderful. Like, the writing is just so smart. And it's just so funny. And everyone is just so wonderful. Like, it really is family.
Well, we know you guys are going to have a great time tonight. Thank you for taking a few minutes with us. There are a lot of people that want to talk to you. We're going to release you to the carpets. And we're going to head on down to Andrea and JD with Bill Paterson.
Yeah, we're here with Bill Paterson. Bill, how's it going? I just heard this is your first SAG Awards, so how are you feeling?
SAG. Well, I'm overwhelmed. I mean, it's just staggering. I didn't think there would be so many people here. I knew it would be big, but not this big. So I'm overwhelmed.
Okay.
You know, and it's taken me by surprise. If I look startled, I am.
You look a bit startled, but in a good way.
In a good way.
In a glamorous way. Now you play. I wouldn't say you're the father of the year in this role, and there are a couple moments where you can really see that the father makes a choice, preferring his wife to his daughters.
Yeah.
And those moments are really sensitively played, really finely played. Something in your eyes.
Yeah.
How did you work that out with Phoebe?
Well, you know, by some chance, I have a daughter very similar age to Phoebe. So I've been practicing a long time to be kind of an adequate father.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I've had 30 odd years to be inadequate as a father. So it wasn't looking too far inside. But there's something about that relationship between a father and daughter that, as you'll know, because you will have a father, if you, God bless, there's a kind of special frissons of both of love and of terror and panic that the daughter is going off the rails. And it's nicely reversed at Fleabag, because sometimes Phoebe thinks Dad is going off the rails. So I think that's the essence of it. Beautifully written, and she never finished a sentence for Dad. He would speak and then run into the sand. So I always had to finish the sentences in my head during the takes.
Well, the performance is wonderful and nuanced, and you love the guy and you kind of hate him too at the same time. And your colleague, Andrew Scott, everybody's favorite fox-fearing priest, is at the top of the carpet with Jeremy and Lola.
Yeah, here he is, Andrew Scott. Yes, he's the hot priest. I didn't make it up. Don't at me. But we always talk about the ladies' fashion. The men get a little more bold with the look. You got the cummerbund, the whole thing here. Looking good, my friend.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm feeling good, actually. Yeah, feeling well, thank God.
The first SAG Awards for you.
Yes, this is the first time I've been here at the SAG Awards, so yeah, it's cool. It's because it's all actor-based, and I know actors.
And what an auspicious beginning. I mean, to start off here with this role, I mean, it made you a household name. People may not know your name, but they know that you're the hot priest. What is that like to walk down the street and hear, hot priest, hot priest?
It's very bizarre, particularly in America. People are very forthcoming. I like it I live in London, so people are a little more reserved. They've got that English reserve, so it's cool. Yeah. That's their worst things.
Tell me when you first encountered that script. I mean, so much of what makes this show so special, Fleabag so special, is the writing.
Right.
When you glimpsed that script, what went through your mind?
Well, it's what you look for with any script. You know, you're looking for something with real flair, and that's you can't make a great performance if you haven't got a good script. Yeah, I was blown away by it, but I don't think any of us really had any idea that it would take the world by storm the way it has. So it's incredible.
You've won every award this season.
Well, let's say
you
this.
won like Girl Scout awards and Boy Scout awards.
A lot of eyes are on you.
Right.
One set of eyes definitely on you. Joey King, the actress from The Act, who was fanning out over you at the Critics' Choice Awards as you walked right behind her.
Oh, wow.
I don't think she was able to encounter you yet. We found out at the party last night she had not encountered you yet.
Yes.
Are you aware of her? And would you like to kind of send your love?
Of course, she was absolutely sensational in that. Yeah, I'd love to meet her. Yeah, this is the great thing about these things. You get to meet people that you really admire. That's cool. Oh, good. I'm delighted I came.
Okay, Joey King, we will be looking for the two of you at the after party. We're going to work something out.
And let's go back to Andrea JD with one of the stars from Stranger Things.
Yes, he's the bad boy in Stranger Things, Dacre Montgomery. So nice to have you. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, your character, it's wild. It goes on a journey. What was your reaction first reading those scripts?
I think amazement, as we were just discussing. You know, I think it was a really interesting opportunity to try and maybe do a different take on an anti-hero or a villain that, you know, isn't sort of painted one color, which was a lot of fun.
The great thing about your character, and indeed the whole series, is it kind of harkens back to old movies, old teen movies, but you get to bring a few more shades into that character. You get to be somebody we kind of root for, even though you're pretty awful a lot of the time.
Agreed. Very awful. No, I think that's all thanks to the Duffer Brothers, because they kind of create a collaborative air on set. You know, the freedom of speech and discussing rather and collaborating on things was, I think, what makes the show the show. You know, I think that's what has made it so successful.
Yeah, you made a post on Instagram about persistence and things not happening overnight. Especially this award show, it's all about the actors. What is your message to actors out there that maybe are hitting a wall or having a hard time?
Yeah, I wrote something as well recently on that, sort of saying that, you know, we've all had tough times, you know, people sort of aspiring to be actors. But I think just a constant belief in yourself and persistence and sort of understanding that you are just as capable as anyone else, I think is extremely important, and not sort of dismissing your abilities or how long it takes to be recognized for those abilities.
You have this incredible little pin there that has like a red cross. Tell us about that.
I was just announcing today that I'm officially becoming an ambassador for the Australian Red Cross. As you know, Australia is experiencing some extremely hard times. A lot of people I know are affected, and my partner and I are trying to do everything we can to help out. So I've created a GoFundMe, and we're trying to raise funds, as is many Americans, many Brits. Are you British?
I'm a creepy fusion.
Okay, creepy fusion. But I'm sure I've heard of many British people and Australians trying to raise money, but we've still got 2 months left of fire season, which is a scary amount of time to consider how much has happened in the first month. We lived under a cloud of ash in a major city for 3 weeks. So I'm just trying to raise awareness and do that little bit that I can.
Thank you for the work that you're doing.
Well, a very important message to get out there. This is, as he was saying, just the beginning, really, of a real crisis down under, and we all want to pitch in for that. So thanks for doing that, and we're going to take it back to the top of the carpet to Jeremy and Lola.
Yeah, okay, here we go. This is Drew Scott. Am I the next property brother? Perhaps. I was on a train recently in New York going to D.C., and a guy beside me at the end of the ride said, "Are you one of those property brothers?" And I was like, "I'm flattered. Unfortunately, no. I don't have a new magazine. I don't have a hit show, and all your money."
And I'm way too short.
That's right.
You know what? We're not going to interrupt this bromance, so we'll be over here. You guys just go and have a good time. Yeah, girl, so tell me about this dress, because this dress is fabulous. I love this bow. The lipstick's matching the bow. Oh, are you guys finished? Oh, you're finished? Okay, thank you.
Great night, though. We have the perfect weather here, a lot of amazing, inspiring people here to support tonight.
And you know what? We have been talking about this a lot at people. You and your brother, Jonathan, just launched Reveal, this new magazine, this new endeavor. How excited are you for that? And now you're a little bit away from the launch. How's it feeling?
I mean, we're really excited. This is something we wanted to do for many years. We listen to our fans, and they've said that they would love us to try and inspire them in other ways. You know, we're at 400 houses now we've done for families on our shows, and the magazine is exactly what our fans were asking for. It's a lifestyle magazine, and it's meant to give people that inspiration in all aspects of their lives, to live your best life.
Can I just say this really quickly?
Yes,
I just want to thank you, because if we go back to Property Brothers Season 1, this man's fashion and look has come so far.
Oh my God.
Look how dialed in. Oh, Linda, you have changed his entire life.
Well, it's because of our stylist that we met.
Okay.
We met through his stylist.
Yes, that's
right. The stylist connected the two of you?
You know, it was actually
Wait,
her.
tell us this story.
So
I need to hear
basically,
everything.
it was during Fashion Week in Toronto, and we were at an event. She brought me to the event. I was the celebrity
And
model.
I was fashion police.
And she was fashion police, and so they introduced us, and we here we are now. We've been married a year and a half.
So who takes longer to get dressed?
No way. Absolutely not.
Today.
Linda takes.
I was ready first.
Okay, maybe to get dressed,
I was
she's
ready
very
first.
fast, but the makeup and everything else, that's a little different.
No,
Yeah.
today I was ready first.
If we ask this question, who takes longer, Linda, me, or Jonathan?
Jonathan, yeah.
Or Jonathan and Zoe Deschanel, and then so that's a whole nother.
I think she's pretty fast. Jonathan's hair, it's just the
It's
hair.
Jonathan's hair.
Can you and Jonathan have twin
Oh,
hair?
I
so-
can relate. It took Jeremy forever to get ready.
Guys, there's a lot of people that want to talk to you. They're wrapping us up. Thank you so much. Congrats on everything.
Have fun. So good to
Left
see you.
hand right here down the carpet to JD and Andrea, and I'm going to get this handshake in. There we go.
All right, we're with our first Game of Thrones actor of the day, Natalie Emmanuel. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Yeah.
You look gorgeous. Can you tell me a little bit about the look?
Yeah, well, it's, very big and has a giant bow. I like to see myself as a giant present, a giant gift. No, it's by Miu Miu, and it's super fun and kind of 60s inspired, and it's fun.
It's wonderful.
Well, now, I will talk about your last appearance in this show, which was very distressing for many of us. I'm glad to see your neck is intact. Everything's fine. How far in advance did you know that was going to be the way you were going to check out?
Before we filmed the season, I knew. Yeah. So I got given the scripts, and I think I was shooting a movie somewhere in Syracuse. And I was on a flight home, and I had all the scripts, and I read them.
Well, Game of Thrones is nominated for Best Ensemble, so it's a big reunion, kind of a last hurrah. Who are you most excited to see today and catch up with?
Well, I'm happy to see any of my Game of Thrones gang. I've already bumped into Alfie and John and Ben. Like, we've kind of all seen each other. It's just lovely to see everyone. I can't really choose. I mean, a lot of kind of like my gang from the show aren't here, so I will obviously be missing them because it's strange to be at these things without them. Yeah.
Is it nice now you're doing you're doing romantic comedy, you're doing contemporary roles. Is it nice not to have to be, in all that kit and doing all that stuff? Do you feel a bit relieved not to have dragons coming over the horizon?
Well, to be honest, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life, so I miss it terribly, and I'm doing the kind of period fantasy thing it's so much fun, and I loved it, and I would love to do it again in the future, but it's always fun to mix it up as an actor, like try something on that's more contemporary and try new things, and that's kind of felt right for me after Game of Thrones. I was like, what can I do that's like so different to that? And I landed on 4 weddings and a funeral.
Which is delightful.
Yes, and we're going to be following along with your career. Thank you so much for stopping by, Natalie. All right, we're going down the carpet. Lola and Jeremy, they have Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah,
We are here with Millie Bobby Brown, the chicest woman on the carpet this evening. Walk us through this ensemble. It's extraordinary.
Thank you. Well, it's Louis Vuitton. It's everything I kind of wanted. I definitely wanted to go for more of a masculine but very feminine look, and they got it just right as usual. So
We were just talking about this. This is my 3rd consecutive SAG Awards, yours as well. So we did this 3 years ago. Talk to me about how much your life has changed in those 3 years.
I mean, it's changed drastically. It's also like my forming years of being a teenager.
Right? Yeah.
So, hair's grown, all things.
If you had to say it, who do you, of that cast, it becomes like a family, right?
Yeah.
Who has been the most formidable role model, friend, person along the way as you've gone through those important years?
They're all so special to me in very different ways. Yeah.
And Millie, how do you think you've evolved, both as an actor and as a young woman?
I think I'm becoming stronger and definitely more, I don't know really. I'd say probably stronger as each, year comes, definitely more, I don't know, I don't really know because it's difficult. I'm still growing, so I don't really, I haven't evaluated that yet, but I'll get back to you when I'm not a teenager.
We're all in process. We're all continuing to grow.
All right, let's talk
loading bar,
Loading bar, I love that. Okay, let's talk TV and film. Lots of stellar performances. Other than your own, what performances knocked your socks off this year?
The act, Joey King.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you friends with her? Do you know her? Have you encountered each other?
I love her because she shaved her hair off.
Yeah.
So we definitely have, our bonds there. Yeah.
Have there been like tips and tricks kind of communicated to make that work and the process of getting it all back? That's something, right?
Well, Winona Ryder shaved her hair off. I mean, she cut her hair when she was younger. So she always told me there's going to be a stage where, it's going to have like that really weird, like mid-length.
Yeah.
So I definitely got told and that was a thing, by the way.
Can we quickly talk about that last day of shooting on Stranger Things? We were just mentioning this and how emotional it was for you. Just kind of sum that up for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's a family. You're working for eight to 9 months straight. You form such great relationships, and then you're just leaving each other. So it's always so emotional. But we're ready to get back to shooting.
And you'll stay in touch, and you've got group chat, so
yeah, we definitely do.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here. We're going to go back to Andrea and JD. Hey guys.
All right, we're here with O.T. Begbenle from The Handmaid's Tale. You look great. How are you feeling?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm happy. This is an agbada. It's like a Nigerian type of dress. It's not a dress, but type of,
It's very breathable. It looks very comfortable, very elegant.
Yeah, it's
takes
easy.
you from day right into evening.
Right, and then you can hide your hands and just like
very
hide
important.
food there in case you get hungry. Options.
Now we know season 4 of The Handmaid's Tale, you're starting to film in March. Is June gonna get out of Gilead? What's going on?
Do you think I can tell you that? They would come after me if I get that information out. To be honest, I have a feeling that they're going to shake stuff up in season 4. Like, I think it's going to be a season like no other. I've had little sneak peeks, and I'm like, okay, oh wow, okay. So it's like, it's going to get intense. If it's not already intense.
It's the most intense show ever.
It was so light and fun before.
There can be a few musical numbers
I
this
was
year.
about to say.
Yeah.
So the musical version of Handmaid's Tale set in a candy-colored Toronto of the future.
Right.
Next March.
I can get my tap dancing on.
Excellent.
I do hear that the cast does dance a lot. All right, we got to go down the carpet to Jeremy and Lola. Take it away.
Oh, Ashley Lathrop is here. Everybody's dancing it in.
Yes, it's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Speaking of party, business in the front, party in the back.
There
yes,
we go.
this
By the way,
dress
both
is
of you
phenomenal.
have kind of the back thing.
Well,
You
I
got
mean,
the
if you want me to, bam.
There we go.
That's amazing. How do you feel today? You look divine, and you've got a great energy. So how are you feeling? I mean, this silver carpet is lit.
I am thrilled to be here. I am thrilled to be here with the people that are here. I'm very excited.
What do you have coming up that you're most excited about? Tonight's obviously a night of celebration, but there's always that like future look and what we're kind of moving toward.
In terms of working,
yeah.
I just finished a show called Utopia for Amazon, and that's coming out this summer. So I'm very, very excited.
Give me a sense of the tone and feel of that.
It's like a friendship-based whodunit, crime, thrilling. There's a lot of elements to it.
I like it. Sufficiently.
Yes.
Hey, have a great night tonight.
Thank you.
Have fun down there. We're going down the carpet where we have, I think, Gaytan from Stranger Things.
Gaytan Matarazzo in the house. What's up, Gaytan? How you feeling?
Great. I'm excited. It's great to be back.
What is it like when you come to these things and you see the Stranger Things cast? Is it a really fun reunion?
Oh yeah. Well, I haven't seen them in forever. It's been way too long. I mean, I haven't seen some of them since our last press tour for season 3. And so it's been a while, and I'm really glad to be back. It's great. I just saw Millie down over there, and I haven't seen her in forever, so it's great.
Well, you guys, I mean, ever since I first met you, you all seem to get along really, really well.
Always.
And I just don't believe it.
No.
Who
It's
do
all
you really
acting. It's all- who
despise
do I
on the
despise?
cast? Yeah.
This is kid, Finn.
Yeah.
We're gonna tell him that you said that.
Do it.
So we also know that season 4, it has been announced. So your publicist said you could spoil the whole thing. So
Right? Actually, it's funny. I haven't read any of it. We have like half the season already. I haven't read any of it for the sole purpose that I know I'll probably spoil something. I don't want to read it until we do the table read.
your cast is the best about not giving us anything, and you're doing your job right.
Yay, awesome.
You guys are really great about that. And one of the things you have to do, obviously, when you get the scripts is you kind of have to imagine some of these creatures and monsters that are not realized. Do you often have a very different picture in your head about what you're going to be facing when you see it?
Yes, actually. I remember the first season reading the script and hearing about the Demogorgon and stuff. Like, it kept like saying humanoid in the script. And so I thought it was going to be much more like almost like a man. That was just like a really big dude. You know, like a really scary looking big guy that had like claws and teeth and stuff. But like, now they call him like Tulip Head because his face opens up like a flower. It freaked me out when I first saw the concept art.
And it freaks out when we watch it.
Does its job then.
Well, Gaytan, thanks so much for stopping by. Going back down the carpet,
see you.
Patricia Arquette is there with Jeremy.
Yep, that's right. Look at this. Patricia Arquette is here. So
And
good
I
to
am
see you.
fangirling. I'm so sorry. I was just telling her it's such a pleasure to watch you work. And I'm not the only one who feels like that. All of your peers feel that way because you keep winning SAG Awards.
It's mind-blowing. I don't even know what's going on. I swear I really never saw this trajectory. You know, they say, like, The Secret. Imagine your future.
Right.
I didn't
Visualize
really imagine.
it.
Yeah, I didn't really visualize it because I was doing work for a long time, but it just seemed under the radar, and I was trying to work in that box they give for girls for a long time. So it was really nice, you know, in my 50s to kind of say, well, I'm going to break out now. I don't have to be the ingenue. I don't have to be the girl. So
You know
that
what-
you're in love with. So
Patricia,
let me do something else.
You don't have to be the love interest. And I think that's sort of indicative of how Hollywood has changed in recent years, because historically, after the age of 40, it was spelled the end for most actresses' careers. But you're a shining example of someone whose career just keeps getting greater and greater, later and later.
Well, there's a few things happening that I think that are significant right now, and I have very good timing.
Right.
Is
What do you
that-
think? What do you attribute this to?
Well, part of it is that there's so many cable channels
Right.
that are looking for content. For a long time, they were around, these cable channels, but they were just recycling old content. Then people were about to switch off their cable, and now they're creating content. Now, because of that, you know, women of color, men of color, all kinds of women
Yes.
of
All
different
ages.
colors, ages are
Mhm.
getting an opportunity. So I think I happened upon a very good time in the world.
And the momentum's there. New things that we're hearing about, an upcoming project with Ben Stiller and Adam Scott for you. Can you tell us anything about that?
Tell us more.
Well, yeah, I'm really nervous. I want to know more about it. I'm still waiting for the first script. I mean, I've read a version of the first script, but
Okay,
am
no,
I even
it's
allowed to say?
Okay,
I don't know.
It's on Apple TV. We know
I'm
that.
the person you tell your secrets to, okay?
I like that. Hey, really quickly, how do you go about choosing your projects? Because again, you're one of those actresses who has such a wide body of work. You can do almost anything. So how do you know when a script is for you? How do you know when a project really speaks to you?
Well, you know, I think sometimes people think I get offered more than I do.
Okay.
The reality is, I don't get offered everything in the world.
Really?
Months will go by, I don't get offered anything.
And then you're deluged with work.
Then I'll get, several things. Usually you'll get a lot of good things at once, you know, and you have to decide. But you have to take different things into account. Look, I've been a single mom since I was 20. Sometimes you have to pay your bills,
Right.
you know, and you're grateful for whatever job you get. sometimes, you're overwhelmed. Your body's worn down, and you need to make adjustments because of that. So I think there's a lot of things in the choices that we make, but I'm just grateful. Look, I'm so grateful to casting directors today, honestly. I feel like casting directors have championed me a lot in the room. Even with this, after all of these years with the act, the casting director, Sharon Bialy, she went to bat for me. Wow. Now, people at home might not think that I need a casting director at this point to champion me, but she did. And also one of the creators, Michelle Dean did, and our director. But other than that, I may not have gotten this part.
Really quickly, I'm sorry to cut you off there. Joey King, you made headlines when you talked about clubbing her over the head with the globe at the after party and after event. Are there precautions in place so that we don't have a repeat performance?
Why wouldn't there be a repeat performance? Listen, I'm a method actor, right?
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
So should you win tonight,
are we all
going
gonna
to be
club her?
careful.
Do we? Look, this could be used as a club.
Oh,
boom!
When you see Joey King, I expect that.
Boom! That's
No.
from you. Okay, got it.
No,
Perfect.
I'm just kidding. I love my Joey King, and no, that was, if you look at the video, it was half club
Evidence
and
to show.
half headbutt. We both contributed to that violent
Patricia Arquette, the most lovely and violent woman in Hollywood, thank you so much for being
That's
here.
the best title I've ever gotten.
Have a great night tonight.
I love you. Thank you so much.
Congrats on everything. And we'll toss back down to JD and Andrea.
Wow, it's getting wild down the carpet.
Gotten kind of crazy
All right,
here,
we
but
have a party going on here. Casey Thomas Brown, Sarah Baker, Melissa Tang, and Jenna Ling Adams from the Kaminsky Method. How are you all doing?
Great, yeah. It's
happy to be
completely
here.
surreal.
You are all so funny on the Kaminsky Method. Your scenes with Paul Reiser. What's been your favorite memory working with him?
I mean, he's like legendary TV actor. The best was when I was talking to Chuck Lorre and he was like, "Oh, we're gonna have a love interest this season." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." He's like, "Yeah, it's Paul Reiser," and I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, Paul Reiser's, he's older than me, but he's super cute." And they were like, "No, we're gonna put a wispy ponytail, a bald cap, and like a little paunch on him." I was like, "Okay, all right, okay." But he is so funny, and his character is perfect foil for both me and Michael's character.
So good. For the rest of you, I want to know what's been the coolest or wildest or funniest thing you've been able to do on the show?
I mean, honestly, it's been amazing taking turns as acting students in the class. We're all together for all of the episodes, and then we each take a turn and do a monologue or a scene, and we're really there to support each other, and that's been the most amazing experience on my end. But
I think the most amazing thing for all of us was watching the day that Allison Janney came to class with Michael and saw how Michael just wanted to step up his game and really just kind of get ready for her in a way that was so exciting to watch and see and be a part of. It was just crazy to be in a scene with both of them.
I got to call Michael a very dirty word that was very gratifying.
I love it.
Well, on that note, and you can Google what that word was, we're going to go back to the top of the carpet where they have Jarrell Jerome from When They See Us.
Yeah, Jarrell Jerome's here. Here he is.
Hey.
And the man, let's put together and look at that ring. There it is. That's the pose right there. Hold on. Here we go.
Ooh, now you're talking.
Looking
Looks
good.
like a little Bulgari to me. Is that right?
You're absolutely correct. You know your jewels.
Yeah, my jewels. And you know what else? I know a damn good performance, and you were stellar in When They See Us. Ava DuVernay, I mean, I know that she's a dream to work with, but I can't even imagine what that script must have looked like. And how did you know that you wanted to take on that project?
Oh, man. I mean, everything about it was just a huge sign for me, just in terms of where the story is, so close to home. I'm from the Bronx, so Central Park not being too far away, Harlem not being too far away, and just I felt like I saw my own friends in each of those boys. I saw myself when I looked in the mirror, when I read the script. It was my worst nightmares. It was everything I didn't want to go through. So I knew that it would be a challenge for me to tap into that. And then meeting Corey himself was even harder, but even more of validation for me to say, yes, this is something I want to take on and make sure I do this right.
Man, Jarrell, it's
so
such a
much.
pleasure to talk to you.
Yes.
We've been following along. You're one of our favorites. You've got so much good stuff going. We know you've got many big projects ahead. Thank you for taking some time out for us tonight, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good time tonight. And I think we are going to stay right here. Mr. Robert De Niro joins us live, being honored tonight.
Robert De Niro.
Come right on up. Hello, sir. How are you? I'm Jeremy. It's great to talk to you.
I'm Lola. So good to see you.
Man.
How are you?
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Okay.
When I look at your career just from a fan's perspective, it's just incredible, and obviously the new things that you keep on doing. Talk to me about what a recognition tonight means to you at this phase of your career and the things that have been going on.
Well, I'm honored to be to get the award. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You know, it's to be honored by your peers, and it's I don't even know what to say. You know.
Yeah.
If you were stranded on a desert island and could only take 3 Robert De Niro films with you, which ones would they be? I know mine, but I'm curious to hear yours.
Oh God, I don't know.
The Godfather 1.
Well, I'm in Godfather 2.
Godfather 2, yeah.
That doesn't mean I wouldn't take Godfather 1, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's it.
I heard that Al Pacino sent you a nice email after the completion of The Irishman. What was that email about, and what's the status of, I don't know, the relationship the two of you have had after knowing each other for decades now?
Well, no, he did send me a beautiful email, and one to Marty too. It was really, it was a wonderful, wonderful email, and you know, we've known each other for 50 years, and over the years because we found ourselves in the same type of situation, we would compare notes. Give each other advice about how to handle a thing, a situation, whatever, because we felt close in that way and had an understanding. So that was a great thing for us over the years to be able to rely on.
Mr. De Niro, thank you so much for being
Such
here.
a pleasure.
We are honored
Thank
to
you.
be in the same space with you. Have a wonderful evening.
How come you don't wear any socks?
My stylist told me you go with no socks these days, my friend. I don't know. What are we doing?
Can't trust a man who doesn't wear socks.
I know, exactly.
Can't trust a man who shows up late to a meeting and who doesn't wear socks. There you go. Have a great night tonight. Wow, such an incredible moment, I
Back
guess.
to Andrew and JD, noticing your socks.
Andrew, JD, take it away.
Legend.
Incredible.
Yes, all right. We're here with Chloe Coleman from Big Little Lies. I saw you last night. You were in a really pink frilly dress, and now you're mixing it up. Tell me about this look.
I actually got to be dressed in Burberry, so I get to wear this beautiful navy suit. I mean, I really like it. You know, I saw it and like, yeah, I have to wear this. You know, because going from the pink dress, I just wanted to mix it up. So
yeah, and I heard you were dancing it up last night at the Entertainment Weekly party. Tell me about that dance-off.
we had some fun dancing. We hung out with Julia Butters. She's so sweet, and they played the best songs, 80s, everything. So just getting my dance on.
I love that you love the 80s, because I know you weren't alive then.
Well, I mean, they have some good music, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen, all that stuff.
So so Bohemian Rhapsody, is that your favorite? What's your favorite dance track? That's not really a dance track, Bohemian Rhapsody.
When you do listen to 80s, it kind of, really makes you dance. Like, nowadays, music is so good. And then, when you go back to the 80s, then you can really dance. So.
Well, I don't remember the 80s at all because it was a long time before me. But I know the people at the top of the red carpet probably have some insights into the era of Cyndi Lauper and Duran Duran, so I'm going to toss it back to them.
All right, guys, here with the cast of The Crown. Hello, hello. How are you guys?
Hello.
Hey.
Very well, thank you.
You were just saying, you walked up and you said, Robert De Niro was just here. You're breathing the same air.
I'm trying to get it in my lungs.
Yeah.
And treasure it forever.
What did we say?
Get it in our lungs.
You might meet him. Yeah, this is the best thing about these things, is we get to meet heroes. Yeah.
Talk about that. And who would be the hero moment for you tonight?
I forgot to look at the list.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I tell you after?
Well, yeah, and I think you're that moment for many of us. Let's just say that. I'm just going to put it out there.
No,
He's for us. For us, he actually is.
I mean, you guys seriously.
And we are for you?
Yes, of course. But you guys seriously, what is it like to work with true Hollywood royalty? I mean, it's Helena Bonham Carter.
It's insane. It is insane. But actually, I'm about to do a good one. So, it is. Some days it's. No, it's not. It's all, literally from day one, they made us feel like, completely comfortable and normal, and they're just great people to work with. So it's not, we see
They also
beyond
happen
that.
to be very talented. Both of these people are amazingly talented. So I will say this about just generally being part of this production, which has been like such a happy job for me. And it's sort of been ironic because we're up for the ensemble thing, and in a program that's about status and hierarchy, it couldn't be more democratic and fun and supportive, isn't it? And we're pretty idiotic. We're a proper family back home. Yeah. We're all supportive, and there's no competition really. There's no sense. There's not one diva.
No.
You know what? You know well our queen, who's hilarious. And
Olivia Coleman.
Yeah, everyone. There's not a diva in, and everyone is brilliantly fun.
You know, we hear that Prince Harry and Meghan are going to be looking for jobs soon. What do you think they should do?
I have no idea. I'm not.
I imagine they could probably do anything. I'm sure they're very
want?
talented and can go off and do whatever they want. I hope so.
I hope so. Absolutely. I think the world is their oyster. It'll be very interesting to see what they do, but now they're masters of their own destiny, and good luck to them.
Well, it's such a pleasure to talk to you.
you so much
Watching
for
you is
being-
incredible.
Yeah.
You do such a good job, and we thank you for taking some time for us tonight. We're going to head back down the carpet to JD and Andrea. Have a good night,
Yes,
guys.
we are here with Noah Schnapp from Stranger Things. Stranger Things kids, you have a ton of fun. I want to know your favorite memory on set. I know it's probably hard to choose.
Memory. I mean, we've done a lot of fun stuff. I think me and Millie have the most fun together. One time we got stuck in a chair. That was definitely a highlight. We've pulled a million pranks on our fellow crew members.
Best prank.
Times, yeah. Best prank. We told one of the crew members her wedding was canceled, and she started crying.
That
was a pretty good one. No, but yeah.
How did you manage to do that?
Well, it's like our proudest prank. I was like her manager, and we called them on the phone, and we were right next to her, like looking at her, and she was bawling, and it was kind of bad, but we told her after, and she was okay. But
So she got over it?
Yeah, she got over it. Yeah.
Season 4 on its way. I mean, are you totally stoked to get back with everybody?
Yes, of course. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to it for all year now, and it's coming up now. We're starting so soon. I can't say anything about it, but it's going to be good. I read the first 4 episodes. They're really good, yeah.
So, yes?
Yes, yeah.
So, in your up till this season, what has been the most intense moment for you as an actor on Stranger Things? There's a lot of intense moments.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I feel like in season 2, probably, it's been pretty intense. I had a scene, like the seizure, where I'm like on the ground. It was crazy. But it's a lot of like late night shoots. It can all be really intense, but it's worth it.
How are you guys going to party it up if you win today?
Well, we were all talking about it. We're gonna party hard. This is our favorite one, so we're all really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much.
Well, listen, I would not recommend telling somebody that their wedding is canceled for fun.
that was actually really cruel.
That's pretty mean.
Stop it now, though.
But nevertheless, they're all laughing about it now. And you know where they are laughing too? At the top of the red carpet with the cast of Game of Thrones.
Well, one person anyway, you're on hot off a flight from Copenhagen.
Exactly.
When did you land?
2 hours ago.
What?
I had to skip the whole line in costume just to get here in time.
You look
So I'm a little bit tired.
And how many times a day do you hear, "You're on"? I mean,
No, you know what I get most now is like, why did you guys fuck up season 8?
Whoa! Boom!
Well, censor, that's
okay,
fine. That's fine.
So if we're gonna go there,
We would do that in Europe. In Europe, we can say that. I'm tired.
Fresh off the plane from Copenhagen, guys.
Excuse.
There's a little time lapse.
it's not live. It's not live. Don't worry about it.
Zone differential, you lose the filter.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you think of it? You know, the ending was a bit controversial. How do you
It
handle
was.
that
No,
as
we
someone
loved
who
the
is
ending.
so okay? Tell me.
No,
Yes.
but the thing is, when we had the read-through in Belfast, like a year and 2.5 years ago, we ended up standing and doing like a standing ovation for 15, 20 minutes. It was a perfect ending, but people were upset because an error finished. And I kind of get it. If I was a big fan of the show before I started it, and I became a part of it, and if it had ended in that way, I would have been angry as well, because, when something you like so much says no,
Yes.
it's like a breakup. And Game of Thrones broke up with millions of people all over the world, and they got upset.
But at least you didn't ghost. You told us we were breaking up.
Exactly.
And quickly, who are you saying the most tight-knit with post Game of Thrones?
What do you mean?
From the cast.
More or less all of them. We have this thread where we all write to each other on social medias, which I'm not good at social media. So
all right. Well,
Thank
we're
you
out
so
of time
much
here.
for being here. Go get some sleep.
Go get some sleep. Pilo, thank you for being here. It's good to talk to you. Down the
Thank you
carpet
so
to
much.
JD and Andrea.
Typing that thing again.
We saw it. There we go. All right, here with David Diggs. Hello, how are you feeling?
Great.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. It's nice to be around people celebrating. You know?
So you have a new show coming out. Yeah, Snowpiercer. Tell us about it.
Snowpiercer, May 31st, TNT. It's I'm very excited it's finally coming out. It's been a long road, and it's just a great cast. It's a great story. It's real actiony,
and it's a great shout out to mass transportation in its own way.
Everybody take trains.
Now you take the train if you have a good ticket, the first class ticket. You don't want to be in the back. Now you are a singer, an actor, performer. You do all kinds of things. You're in the new Little Mermaid. Tell us a little bit about that. What kind of crustacean or form of sea life are you playing?
Yeah, I'm playing Sebastian.
We all remember Sebastian.
He's a crab. And it's great, we're sort of just getting started over there too. It's just a great group, and it's really nice to be part of something that is. That's the first movie I can remember being aware of before it came out, and like being excited to go to the movie theater. I remember going to the Grand Lake Theater in Oakland with my dad and seeing it probably opening week. I just remember a big line of people waiting to get into the theater.
That is a great place to see a movie. If those of you who don't know, that is a majestic theater.
It's still, there's still only maybe 3 screens in there, and they really keep it.
We're really excited for that. Now, you were in Hamilton. I saw it after you were out, which is such a bummer, but you recently went back and saw Hamilton in London. So what is that experience like, seeing a show that, you were in a few years ago?
I love watching. I mean, it's hard. It's such a different experience watching it from the outside than being in it, so it doesn't feel like I'm never comparing anything. It's a really good show, though.
Yeah,
What's your favorite song?
What's my favorite song? I don't know. I'm a big Wait For It fan. I think that song's really beautiful.
It's amazing.
Well, I think that show might get some attention. I'm hoping that it'll get somewhere. Maybe there's something there. But I do know that there's some big stars at the other end of the red carpet with Jeremy and Lola. Take it away, guys.
We cannot get enough of Cynthia Erivo. I screamed when you walked up here. You know how I feel about you. I'm so happy to see you. How are you doing? How are you feeling? You look divine.
Thank you. I'm doing really, really good. This has been the most exciting thing ever. I feel great. I feel very special right now in this dress.
Well, can you tell Jeremy that you're my friend?
No, we're fighting over this because we had our moment at the junket.
We did.
And can I ask you something about that? Actually, I was telling everyone back at the office and everything else about how much you are able to connect with even just a random reporter asking you questions about Harriet or whatever. In that interview, you told me about the younger version of you that was afraid to get on the plane to move to the United States, thinking it was all going to be a huge mistake. You fast forward to this moment, besides how great it is to be talking to us, obviously, but what do you tell that younger version of yourself about this?
I tell her, well done for overcoming the fear of what might have been, and for living in the moment and getting on the plane to see what happens. Because when you take the risk, when you follow your dreams, often they lead to the right thing. I think everybody knows innately and in their gut what is right for them and what is supposed to be theirs. And if they follow that, they're probably going to do okay.
And Cynthia, when we spoke this summer at the Essence Festival, because we're friends also, when we spoke this summer, you talked about the role that your mother played and encouraging you to pursue your singing because it's something that you flirted with, but she was right there to just push you along. Tell us about that.
My mother is, I guess, instrumental in my whole life and career. She knew what I was capable of probably before I did. And she would give me gentle pushes. If she felt like I hadn't sung for a while, she would be, if you're still singing, never pushy, just there to encourage, just to push me in the right direction, make sure that I was never giving up on the thing that she knew I was right for. And she was never afraid of it.
She was never afraid. Before we let you go, you are very close to Gaytan. What does that feel like?
The youngest ever EGOT, right? If it should happen.
Madness. Awesome madness. I just didn't know that it was possible to get to this point with a show, with a Broadway show. And here I am, and there's 2 nominations, which I'm freaking out over because I really didn't expect it. And I just can't believe it.
We are so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being my friend, Cynthia Erivo.
And being my casual acquaintance at junket interviews. Let me help you down off the platform here. There we go, spin it around.
Take this dress in. Take this dress in.
Mr. Bradley Whitford is coming up after this. Hi, Cynthia. Have a great night. Bye. Mr. Bradley Whitford. Hello, sir. Hey. How are we doing?
I'm good.
All right.
to see you. How you feeling tonight?
You, I'm good.
Looking
I'm good.
very
I'm
dapper.
excited. Well,
Cynthia
thank you.
Erivo's a hard act to follow.
Yeah, I can't follow that.
Yes, you can.
Like a schmuck in a suit.
Okay, but for you, a guy that's been around, you know the Hollywood scene, you know the SAG Awards and this kind of environment. Who are you excited to see? What makes you excited on a night like tonight?
You know, I was just saying to somebody that show business can be a little bit of a nightmare sometimes, but the great thing about this award show is I love being around actors. I've even if show business didn't work out for me, I know that actor people are my tribe.
Okay.
So I'm always excited to be here. Yeah, I can't even name the people I'm excited about.
Talk to us about the project that landed you your SAG card. Do you remember it?
Wow.
Take us back.
It was in 1983, and it was a movie called Dead as a Doorman.
Oh. Did it involve a doorman?
I was the doorman.
You were the doorman.
I was
So
the
you were
doorman.
in the title.
Yeah, I was in the title.
We've been doing this in kind of honor of the Screen Actors Guild and the whole idea of appreciating actors and the journey of an actor.
It's a long, bumpy road.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. But do you recall the worst audition? Like the one that just burned and you still feel it today if it traces across your mind.
Don't worry, we're here for you. We've got a therapy couch over there, so go ahead, tell us.
I need more than therapy. I may need some medication. Born on the 4th of July was a bad audition.
Oh.
Yeah. Oliver Stone.
Spill all the tea. Keep going, keep going.
He's not part of this union. No, he was
Shade.
notoriously tough to audition for. But I was with a
Was
wonderful.
he stone-faced in the audition? Did he not give you what's going on?
That
was not intentional.
Luckily, I had one of the greatest casting directors, a guy named Billy Hopkins, with me, who sort of walked me through the trauma. Yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
I love hearing stories like that. And I hope to see you later at the after party to exchange some more of those.
Yes.
It's great to talk to you.
We'll give you a hug.
There we go.
Yes.
Help him through.
Yeah,
Have a good night
there you
tonight.
go.
Okay, have
We're
fun.
going to help you down off the platform as we have more of them. Look at this. Joey King from The Act is here.
Joey King.
Hi, Joey
Okay.
King. How are you? I'm
King.
Jeremy. It's good to talk to you.
How lucky am I? I saw you last night, and I'm seeing you here. We talked about your transformation yesterday, but you've got to share this story with the audience. You shaved your head, you donned false teeth, you dove right in, and you talked about how transforming in that way felt so special for you, just having that opportunity to really dive deep. Talk to us about that.
I feel so fortunate to have been able to have the opportunity to play Gypsy, to even be considered for the role of Gypsy. It's an actor's dream to be able to strip away all vanity and just kind of dive into a different human being's life. And I had a great time doing it. And it was really dark work and it was really hard, but I'm really proud of the way it happened and turned out.
The work speaks for itself, and you did such a great job. I'm going to give you a little update. We all went nuts about you fanning out over the Hot Priest at the Critics' Choice Awards.
This is so good.
Guess what? He was
Andrew Scott.
Andrew Scott. Excuse me. Yes.
But we
He was just here.
He was right here.
And we did bring it up to him.
You did not.
Yes.
We did.
We did.
And he said,
We're your
I
wing
would-
women
he
and
said-
man.
he said, I would love to meet her.
No.
Tonight,
He
yes.
doesn't mean it.
He
means
does.
Oh my God, he means it.
actually said it.
No, I hope he means it.
I was here. I witnessed it.
I am such a big fan of his. Even before Hot Priest was a thing.
Okay, well, I don't want to take credit for but I think we do play a role.
Guys, thank you so
You know who
much.
else we talked to? We talked to Patricia Arquette.
Oh.
And she told us she better watch out, because if she wins a SAG award tonight, it may be...
She took her purse and threw it at my head.
You had some candies at the last show, I think, in your clutch. A lot of people talked about that. Do you have like a survival kit tonight?
Tonight it's kind of just the basics: ID, money,
Tequila.
lipstick, basic perfume. I get like nervous at these things and like kind of sweat, so I just got my perfume in my bag to freshen up. Other than that, it's some very simple, basic stuff.
Who are you most excited to see other than Hot Priest and Patricia Arquette?
Oh my God, I just saw Bong Joon-ho out there, and that was a bit of an amazing thing that I saw. And then
Can we talk about Parasite?
that was
One of my favorite
It
films of the
truly,
year.
it truly might be my favorite film of the year. It is so, so good.
A couple moments that are really those crazy twists that you're going to love. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Let's talk about this. You're a SAG ambassador. Talk to us about what that means and what it means to you personally.
I was so touched when SAG reached out to me to ask me to be an ambassador of the award show. Basically, I just get to like enjoy this and like extra things. I got to go and help roll out this beautiful silver carpet the other day.
You get a little gift bag yet?
I didn't get a gift bag yet.
It's on the way. It's on the way.
No, I'm kidding. But it's actually, I feel so excited because I got to bring my grandma along with me as well tonight. And
what's your grandma make of all this? Has she been in this kind of environment a lot before?
I mean, just like growing up, I kind of been going to like different events and stuff, but this is a whole new. This is my mom and grandma.
Come on, Grandma.
Come on, Mom.
Grandma,
Come
Grandma,
on,
Grandma, come on, Grandma. We're live right now, Grandma. Come on.
Come on.
Look
You
at this.
can't say no.
Hello.
Come on.
I was just asking
Grandma
this.
in
Come on,
the
Mom. We have the whole
house.
family affair. But talk
Yes.
to us about how proud you are of your granddaughter.
She not only is she talented, she's the sweetest thing. She's just a good-hearted person.
Look at these two.
I love
And
her.
here's Mom. Mom, how proud are you of your daughter?
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud. It's
Yeah.
the most. She's the best kid in the world.
And to come into an environment like this where you've got all these stars, many of the other nominees talking about her project and how great she is in it, that's got to mean a lot as well. But her co-star is violent. It's Patricia Arquette, and she's hitting her. So I hope you guys are there to safeguard tonight.
I love
But
Patricia.
Grandma looks
like
honestly, these are the two that would just like throw me in front of them if Patricia was like throwing something at me.
I feel like Grandma can handle herself. She looks like a tough gal.
Yeah.
Grandma's got street cred for sure.
Okay, we'll explain street cred in a little bit.
We're gonna
It's
toss
so
it.
good to talk to you guys. Yeah, we're gonna toss back down the carpet here, and we're gonna continue the little family experience while you guys talk.
It's a family affair. Oh, thank you so much.
Have a good night
Grandma.
tonight.
Thank you. So are you.
Oh, I think let me toss one more time back down to JD and Andrea. There we go.
There you go.
Well, hello. What a night it's been.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The Schitt's Creek cast is out and about.
Out and about, representing the province of Ontario.
Yeah, I was very close to Catherine O'Hara, and
Very close.
I felt myself fangirling for the first time today.
Did you feel a little starstruck?
I did.
Yeah?
I think she might be busy, so I'm not sure if we get to talk to her, but we'll see.
Well, she has a lot of things to do. She has
Yeah,
a lot of
she's
stuff to
busy
take care
lady.
of. But I have a feeling she may be drawn to you because you have such good energy and she has such good energy, and they just want to chat with you about Schitt's Creek.
Well, thank you, JD.
I think it's going to happen.
What's been your highlight so far?
Well, I gotta say, I mean, it's been great talking to people from all these shows. I guess a singular highlight might be just talking to these kids from Stranger Things. I think they're really, watched them for years now, and they've become such nice people, and they still seem to be, people who don't take this too seriously.
Yeah, and I know I mentioned people I wanted to talk to. Do you have a highlight? If it's somebody that you would love to talk to today?
Someone I would love to talk to? Well, I will get right back to you because Jeremy and Lola have somebody really important on their side of the carpet.
Here he is.
All right,
Horizon's here.
He is.
Oh,
And we're not going to
live.
say, and we're not going to say any bad words. You
no
promise.
bad words. I was swearing right up till now.
Right to the moment.
Now I'm not.
Hey, how does it feel to be kind of back with this? And, people are there for it. People want to see what you're doing. I just feel like it's such a great moment for you.
This is a good moment. Me sitting talking to you.
That's this exact moment right
best
here.
moment of your life.
Is what I
This,
thought you thought of.
I didn't know if this would happen, but sometimes dreams come true.
I feel the exact same way.
Well, this
is
is very
one day.
exciting. Yes, because I'm here with Kaminsky Method, but the Stranger Things thing. And the Stranger Things cast managed to survive even without me for most of season 3. Did you notice that?
Yes, absolutely.
They needed to be in every episode. I was in it just that much because I don't need more. I'm modest. I'm not needy.
When you got in the game, there was no streaming. There weren't.
We didn't
things
even
of
have
the-
cameras. We had to go door to door, put on a play.
cameras.
Yes, that's what we did. Now this is so much easier, so much more efficient.
But when you look back over the evolution of this industry, what goes through your mind?
It is kind of crazy. There weren't this many award shows.
No, not at all.
Here's what's sad. This is the 25th Screen Actors. I remember the first. That's how old I am.
Okay, take this back. What was it like?
It was
Who
all
was
black
there?
and white. Not just on TV, but in life. Yes, there was no color. It was before color was a long way. So this is much better.
Being on many sets as you have, Kaminsky Method, what's the takeaway from your experience there working with that incredible cast?
You know what? Here's what I learned. You never stop learning, and you get to work with Alan Arkin and Michael Douglas. It's like going to school again. It's like it's a treat because I those guys are so good, and I've admired them so long. And then you get to watch them, and you go, Oh, that's why you're you. You're very good at this. Yeah.
You know who else is good at this? You.
Oh, you're very
Thank you so
kind.
much for being
Nice to
here.
see ya.
You go have some fun.
I'm gonna have fun.
All right.
Thank you.
JD, Andrea, back to you.
Yes, some more Stranger Things in the house. Sadie Sink is here. This must be a really fun reunion because you guys haven't seen each other since June.
Right, yeah, this is the first time, I think, at least for me, that I've seen any of the kids since the premiere of the show. Yeah.
Now, do you guys like getting dressed up and doing this kind of thing, or are you like running around a laboratory chasing slime?
That's a good question. I think we like a little bit of both. It's very different. I think what's fun about these is, like award shows and stuff, is we never get to see each other all kind of like dolled up, so it's kind of fun.
And you have some really cool scenes with Millie Bobby Brown. What was maybe your favorite memory on set with her?
I don't know, I think it was just kind of the overall friendship that we formed while filming. Not only like Max and Eleven were becoming better friends, but me and Millie kind of created this really strong bond.
We're excited for season 4.
Great, and we have another great Hollywood talent at the other end of the carpet. Emile Hirsch is with Jeremy and Lola.
Emile Hirsch is here.
How are you?
How are you?
So good to see you.
Talking about this, your 3rd Screen Actors Guild Awards. What makes this show special from your perspective?
Just so happy to be here with Quentin Tarantino's movie, and he's such an amazing director, and to be with so many talented other people, it's just, I'm super grateful. And the Screen Actors Guild, to me, is the most exciting award show because it's just fellow actors and, you know, just trust the taste of the actors. You know? I don't know.
You know, once upon a time in Hollywood, a real love letter to this town. Movies within a movie, within a movie, within a movie.
Yeah.
What did you make of that script? What was it like for you to work with QT and BP and Leo DC?
It was, you know, it was like one of those things where they're so amazing. Half of the job is just trying to stay calm on set because you're like, there's Quentin Tarantino and Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, and who am I? You know what I mean? It's easy to get nervous in that kind of environment, but you just got to believe in yourself and believe that Quentin chose you for a reason. You know, he brings you there because he thinks you're the guy for the job.
If you did have something to take away from that experience with Quentin Tarantino, a nugget that you will tell your acting friends from now until forever, what is it?
You know, it was one thing I saw. He was rewriting the script one day, and he had a pen in his hand, and he was doing it with pen. And I asked him, I said, is that how you write scripts? He goes, oh yeah, only.
Really?
Yeah, he only writes scripts freehand, which I thought was amazing.
So he's got notebooks somewhere with all of it in there.
So so since then, I worked on I've been doing a little bit of writing and doing some music lately. Okay. And so everything is always freehand. There's no typing or anything like that.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Give us a taste of the music. What kind of...
Yeah, it's kind of like synthwave. Like if you like Depeche Mode, that kind of vibe.
Electronic stuff.
We put out an album under just my last name, Hirsch, and it's called Mnemonic, like Johnny Mnemonic.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, it's the top of the year. It's the top of the decade. People have got New Year's resolutions. Do you have any? Have you broken them? I've already broken all of mine.
Yeah, I mean, mine was to just like get in really good shape.
Yes.
And I went to the trainer once, and I think he was so like, you are so out of shape right now that his training me was like he punished me so much to where I was laying on the floor of the gym, like laying there, not being able to move, to the point where the trainer came up to me afterwards and he's like, I'm sorry I put you through that, man. And I was like, dude, like, that's weird. Like,
relax.
It was like
at
weird.
all.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, I was tired for like 5 days, so getting in shape.
Good luck finding a new trainer. We'll let you go. Emile, thank you. It's great to talk to you.
Do some
And we're going to go back down the carpet there to JD and Andrew.
Like literally.
All right, we're here with Madeline Brewer from The Handmaid's Tale, also Hustlers. How wild was that experience?
It was the greatest thing ever, pretty much. My first day is a scene where, spoiler, I give up Jen and Constance, and my very first day, I'm shaking like a leaf, which happened to like work with the scene because I'm supposed to be kind of like messed up anyway. So it was great.
When I first met J-Lo, I honestly kind of blacked out. It's J-Lo. What was your reaction?
I mean, I was scared to death, but you know, just being in this presence of someone I've been listening to her music and watching her style and her acting for decades, and she saw me so nervous and was like, "It's okay, baby, you're doing great." Like, I was like, "Oh my God, J-Lo just called me baby." So
Does she still call you baby?
I haven't seen her.
I haven't seen her tonight. Well, you will see her tonight. And the thing about the movie is that it was really grueling physically, as well as being, you know, it was a pretty intense shoot. And she looks amazing.
Yeah.
You guys do, like, it's sort of like a buddy crime movie within a movie about and very intense. And your character is kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was. I got to be. I channeled like a little Joe Pesci. I feel like in it, just a little like wild. I'm also just like gross obsessed with like Casino and all of that. So we were calling it like when we were prepping, it was like, you know, this is Goodfellas. This is Goodfellas. It's basically the same kind of story, but, you know, different set of circumstances, but it's the hustle. You know, it's making money. It's doing maybe little bad things, but times are tough.
Well, you're so great in it, so congratulations.
Well, Joe Pesci has never been more favorably compared to a performer. There we go. There, you guys are dead ringers for one another, so it's very exciting. I'm going to take it back to the top of the carpet with Jeremy and Lola.
Thank you, guys.
Woo, here we go.
All right. So you just got back from Ghana, and here you are at the SAG Awards.
Yeah, you know, it's a great kickoff to the year. I went to Ghana with the family. I took him to, it's the year of return, so 400th anniversary of the beginning of the slave trade. So the president of Ghana basically called for a year of return for people to come back to see their homeland and that sort of thing. And it was a truly spectacular trip. All the feels, my kids. It only costs $200 to send a kid to school to this one organization, and my 11-year-olds decided they were going to sponsor this one kid that they became buddies with. And so I like had my parent moment where I was like, I'm not going to cry. It was like, I was so happy. It was a fantastic trip on all fronts. Just got back, and here at the SAG Awards, you know, I'm on the awards committee, so I'm technically one of the producers. So we were crazed with that as soon as we got back, hit the ground running, shooting Station 19 and Grey's Anatomy, and we premiered those on Thursday night. So
And you have a crossover episode.
Oh yeah, it's all popping off. Thursday night, 2-hour crossover, Station 19 and then Grey's Anatomy. Anybody who saw the Grey's Anatomy winter finale, you know, Ben and Bailey suffer a miscarriage. Ben's in the bar drinking to, you know, drown his woes. Some of the other doctors from Grey's Anatomy are in there just closing their night out. And then a car smashes through the wall.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because that's what happens.
These crossover episodes get so much attention. Another thing getting a lot of attention, Justin Chambers leaving Grey's Anatomy. This is a big deal. What's the kind of feel from the cast perspective about that exit?
You know what? Here's the thing. I mean, look, 16 seasons. He's not the first person to leave the show, and he won't be the last. And so so it's one of those things where we're like 16 seasons on a show. You know, you have to salute that. You know, that's an amazing achievement. So,
really
you know, if he says it's time, it's time.
Yeah.
Now, you were at the EW party last night having a good old time.
Yeah, having a good old time.
And
Too long.
I'm not going to put you on blast, but you were having a good time.
I put myself on blast.
But before you got into the party, you told us a great story about how you got your first SAG card. It involved Denzel Washington and a demon.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
So Denzel Washington did this great movie called Fallen, that Gregory Hoblit directed. And the whole hook of the movie is that it's a demon that jumps from body to body to body. And so it makes it hard for the detective, Denzel, to track the demon. So I play college kid. And the demon jumps into me for all of about 5 seconds. But I got my SAG card off of it. And so, you know, it's like people walk up and touch each other.
Wait, that's what it is.
So,
Time.
Oh, you remember?
I remember that movie. That's the demon sings that every time.
So, yeah, he sings it a lot. And that was one of the hooks of how they knew who the demon was. There was a whole rehearsal with all of us trying to get, like, the demon would sing that song. And it was really creepy. Oh. And we would all, like, hum it at different times. So and they had a whole rehearsal to try and get us all to have the same kind of mannerisms when we were the demon. Oh. And, you know, and it was just hilarious.
See you later and you look and start singing that song, we're all going to freak out. Just FYI. Hey, have a good time tonight. See right there. Still got it. Deserved that SAG card. Hey, it's really good to talk to you, man.
Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you inside. Have a blast.
So, guys, he leaves, and then the cast of Parasite makes their way up. Hello. Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Hi. It's so good to talk to you all. Look, we've got a lot of people here.
Yes.
I'm gonna scoot out.
We'll bring you
I don't
here.
know where to begin except that.
I know where to begin.
Okay, well, let me say this. There is one movie that everybody is really talking about, and it's Parasite. It's got to feel good to walk onto this stage, into this environment, and have the biggest stars in Hollywood buzzing about what you've been working on.
스타들이 기생충에 대해 얘기를 하고 있는데 이게 어떠신지.
방금 들어오다가 톰 행크스 아저씨 만났는데 뭐 기생충 얘기를 많이 해주셔갖고 즐거운 대화 나눴어요. 글렌 클로즈 님도 그렇고.
On our way in, we met Tom Hanks. He had such good things to say about Parasite. We also met Glenn Close, so it's been great.
This is my favorite film of the year and one of the best films I have ever seen. I've told everyone that it is a socio-political thriller that's laugh out loud funny. How did you manage to strike the perfect tone and balance all those different beautiful storylines? It was masterfully done.
아니 뭐 직업이니까 그걸 늘 하죠. 예, 열심히 하고 있어요. 직업에 맞춰서. 예.
So it's my job. It's my job
Okay,
to
got
do
it,
that.
yeah.
So I'm
Sorry,
trying my
I love the
best.
delayed response, right? Like, what's so funny? It's his job. It's what he has to do. That makes sense. For you, talk about working on this project. What will your personal takeaway be from the experience?
작업한 경험이 어떠셨는지.
We are enjoy working with Bong, and he was 그 우리의 창의성을 굉장히 높여준다고.
He always manages to enhance our creativity for all of us actors.
There's a moment after the flood when you're in the church and you're sitting there, your character is debating the philosophy of life. I just thought that was one of the most beautiful scenes that I've ever seen on camera.
오히려 또 슬픈 장면인 것 같아요. 아름다우면서도 슬픈 장면이 아닌가. 그래서 아들과 아버지의 관계지만 우리의 어떤 살고 있는 이 사회에 대한 어떤 생각들을 많이 할 수 있는 그런 장면이 아닐까 생각하고 최우식 씨는 그 장면 찍을 때 어떤 기분이 체육관 장면.
So it's a beautiful and sad moment between this father and son relationship, but I think that can be expanded into our entire society. And he asked what Cheo-sik thought of that scene.
Sorry, I didn't get the question. What was the question?
강당신에 대해서 어떻게 생각하셨는지 그 무계획하는 장면.
I don't know. We just went along with the script, and then we just had fun with Song Kang-ho. So
You're actors. You're right. You read the script. It worked. Congratulations on one of the most talked about movies of award season. Have a great time tonight. We're going to head back down to the carpet to JD and Andrea.
Yes, we're with Mike Moe, who plays Bruce Lee in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. First time at the SAG Awards, so walk me through it. How you feeling?
This is like it's like prom all over again. It's so exciting. All these beautiful people, just so many talented people in this room. It's a lot of fun.
Now you get to play a movie icon, Bruce Lee, in this film.
Yeah.
How intensely did you study Bruce Lee and his mannerisms? You get the mannerisms and the thumb and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I was a little kid, I loved his movies, and then when I got the role, I had a good 2 months to really just dive into who he was, his mannerisms, just listening to his voice on repeat. So it wasn't the worst thing to be able to study because it was just fun for me.
And you go head to head with Brad Pitt.
Yes.
So talk to me about that scene because that looked like so much fun to shoot.
It was a blast. We spent 2.5 weeks rehearsing together, and Brad's just the best dude. So just training together, and then finally we took a whole week to shoot it, and it's just a lot of fun. QT's a great director, and Brad's an awesome scene partner.
I mean, I know you didn't actually get thrown into a car, but were there any? Oh wait, like actually?
That was me.
So you were being smashed into a car.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. It looked very intense. Did you get pretty banged up from the scene?
You know, we had a great stunt team, and my stunt double, Brian Cartago, he tested everything, so I trusted them completely. We did it 2 times, got up, dusted off, and that's it.
Well, congratulations on a great performance. All right, going back down to Jeremy and Lola with Billy Crudup.
Yep, here we go. Billy Crudup is here from the morning show. I was just saying this to you, my friend. I can't get enough of your character. He just walks this line of making the tough decisions, but also he's just riding the wave. And I don't know, but I feel like you as a person, as an actor, may have that same sensibility with this show, that it's just fun to ride this wave.
Man, I wish I could say that's true, but this guy is like a bucking bronco, and I'm hanging on for dear life. He speaks a lot faster than I do. He thinks a lot faster than I do, so I just get that text that Carrie Aaron writes, and I do the best I can to keep up.
Your character is incredibly Machiavellian. He loves chaos, and he also loves butting heads with Jennifer Aniston's character, Steve Carell's character, Reese Witherspoon. He's got Reese Witherspoon characters back, but what's it like to work with those 3 big names? I mean, it must be such a good time.
All you hope for when you become an actor is to work with people who you've esteemed your entire career and who you can learn from and who will make you a better actor for working with them. And all of that's happening for me right now. And I've been around long enough to know when it's nice, and it's nice right now doing this.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been interesting. We've been following along as Jennifer Aniston has dove into the world of Instagram. And I just wonder, because so many of us can't put our phones down, we're constantly posting or mulling over what to post next. Has she gone that far to kind of, hey, Quick selfie on set. I don't know how extreme we're getting here.
She has not.
Okay.
Reese is locked in, but I think she's got teenagers.
Okay,
so
right.
she's like in that loop all the time.
Makes sense.
But no, not Jen so far. Maybe next season will be a different deal.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense.
Okay, we're going to let you go have some fun.
Thanks.
We'll see you soon, all right?
Nice talking to you.
Have a good time
All
tonight.
right.
Congrats again.
Andrea, JD, what's going on down
One of my
there?
favorite people ever, Anthony Kerrigan from Barry. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel so happy to be here. It's actors celebrating actors, and we just love celebrating ourselves.
But you hurt yourself a little bit, right? Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I am feeling better. I kind of threw my back out, so I'm kind of hanging in there. Nothing like a nice little tuxedo to just kind of like improve your posture.
Did you do this on set, or is this a workplace injury?
It wasn't even. It was the very guy. I wish I could have said it was from rock climbing, which I did 2 days ago. It's epic rock climbing. No, I was on the couch and I sneezed and I threw my back out. It's the most embarrassing thing that I'm telling on television.
Yes. Well, we're glad that you're feeling better. You look amazing. Have so much fun in there. Thanks for stopping by. Going back down to Jeremy and Lola, Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, here we go.
Michael Douglas, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Two
How
legends
you doing?
putting the phone away. Are you on Instagram? Are you doing?
I'm learning it.
Are you?
I'm
Okay.
learning I'm trying to follow this, because now you can get a job based upon how many Instagram followers.
So we're just looking for more work prospects here.
He's
doing good.
Yeah, he's doing okay. And you guys are doing okay. You just celebrated a wedding anniversary, a couple months ago.
19 years.
anniversary.
Yeah, 19 years together, 22 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you celebrate?
It goes fast.
Not too
We
fast.
we just with our kids and just we thought we'd do a party on the 20th. That's a biggie, I guess.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. How much are you loving this show, and then getting the accolades for it along the way?
Great. I mean, it's as good a writing as anything I had in feature films in a long time. Chuck Lorre is fabulous. Alan Arkin, both of us got nominated in the categories tonight. We also got Ensemble, which is always such a cool award to get, which represents the whole bunch together. So I've enjoyed it a lot. So hard they shoot it out here. We live back east, so it gives a little separation of time, but that's a tough, high-quality problem.
Yeah, it certainly is. Congratulations.
That's a good problem to have.
To you both. It's
Michael,
a pleasure to
Catherine,
talk
thank
to
you so much for being here.
Have a great time
you
tonight.
look stunning.
Thank you.
One of the
Thank you.
best
Bye-bye.
dressed of the evening.
So,
okay,
say goodbye
we've
here,
got
please.
someone who I've been waiting to see
Hello,
all
Jennifer
day
Aniston.
long.
Hello.
Jennifer
How are you?
Aniston.
I'm wonderful.
How this is hard.
Oh, this is a back and forth.
Okay.
We'll start over here.
Can't you be on both ones?
Well, wait. Here. How about this? Do you like this?
Yes, so good.
Sorry. Is that better?
Yes.
Hey, I'm sorry, but hey, let's talk about this. We just had one. Billy Crudup was here talking about how much he's loving this experience. It just seems like everyone is really enjoying the wave of the morning show.
We really are loving our wave, if that's a wave.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a tidal wave. Yes, we're just really having a ball.
Yeah.
We have a really great group of people that are
Speaking
putting
of tidal
together-
waves,
Yes.
I love your epic meltdowns on those shows. Your characters back and forth with her daughter in particular.
Yeah.
Laugh out loud funny and poignant at the same time.
Yeah.
Walk me through filming that, because that was a high wire act to walk and you nailed it perfectly.
It's so interesting because I really, those intimidated me when I would see those scenes because that's not sort of in my nature. But somehow go deep enough and you find it. It's there.
It is there.
And you're like, oh, surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love, and listen, I feel like I received a lot of comments from mothers saying thank you. So I
Yes.
feel like we did this, that one was for the mama.
right.
Well, I got to tell you, and we've been talking about this, and at people quite a bit. We're following you on the gram. It's this big moment. Who knew that it would?
We don't say Instagram anymore.
The gram.
We say the gram.
Okay. Well, we're
Getting it. I'm
Gotta
learning.
get it.
I'm in learning mode. I like it. I'm in training.
yeah. And then Reese, Billy was telling us Reese is good at it. Got the kids. Maybe that's
So good at it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's always her excuse is I have teenagers. I have a daughter. And I'm like, okay, that's true because they're experts.
Sure.
So that's why
That makes sense. Well, you're
Yeah.
killing it. And I wondered if, like, there's a new frontier for you, like TikTok. Are you in on that?
Hit it hard.
Are you, oh, is that why?
That's got to be what it is.
Is TikTok on your radar for next? It's like get the dance moves, the sing-along.
Let me focus on one thing at a time.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Making sure.
One thing at a time.
One of the things that I love about this show is the relationship between the two women.
I know.
It would have been easy for them to be at each other's throats.
Yes.
But they do try to work with one another, and they do try to bolster one another and support one another.
Absolutely.
It never gets catty, and the tension between the two of them is grounded in something real. Was that something that was important to you when you read the script?
Yes, absolutely. It's also, you know, there's the one character is sort of hitting a plateau, and the other is just beginning, and she's eager and excited, and has that heat, and they're sort of intimidated by each other, but yet also really respect one another. And if ever there is a moment that feels heated, it's always coming from a place of some sort of insecurity or fear, and it's never an intentional barb, you know, from an ill, you know, a mean-spirited place. So.
I know we've got to let you go, but we've got to talk about the wardrobe. Fantastic on the morning show.
Yes.
Are you nicking any items? Please tell me you are.
Nicking items. I try not. I only nick what they allow me. But you know, yeah, it's also very. I don't walk around in Dior suits necessarily. But if I were to, I'd nick them.
Okay.
We got to get you down the carpet. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Congrats on everything. Have fun tonight. We'll go back down the carpet to JD and Andrea.
Well, there have been some great journalists portrayed in Hollywood. There's been Woodward and Bernstein, but no journalist has been greater than the one named Zuckerman. Here she is from 90210 and the president of the SAG-AFTRA union, an incredible person, Gabrielle Carteris. Thank you for stopping by.
Oh, thank you. That was so kind.
Oh, what an intro, JD.
Well, you know, I like the show.
That was
what can I say?
What a great show. Thank you.
So they were just talking to Jennifer Aniston, and you actually go way back with her.
We do. We go way back in New York when we were both doing commercial auditions and just trying to get a job, coming out here to Los Angeles. We got the shows around the same time. We used to take each other out after auditions. Whoever booked the job had to take everybody else out for dinner. So we've had our time together. And I said to Jennifer the other day, I said, enjoy this moment. It's like a rebirth in a different way and so deserving. So I'm excited for her.
Well, we are going to go to another kind of journalist, Roger Ailes, played by John Lithgow, at the top of the red carpet. Thank you so much, Gabrielle.
John Lithgow, we were just talking earlier about you portraying Bill Clinton and Hillary and Clinton. You were phenomenal. Watching you eat pizza was a joy for me. But now you're playing Roger Ailes.
Yeah, I did a lot of eating as Roger Ailes, too.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
I mean, just about 3/4 of my scenes, I was eating something.
Donuts.
Yeah, you can tell, and you can see the results.
Well, and we were also bouncing off of that and saying, as an actor, it must have been interesting. You know, you get in there, you want to find the human connection. What was the human connection that you found with the character of Roger Ailes?
Roger Ailes was, he was an enormously charismatic and powerful person who had a lot of devotees and followers among the people he worked with. He was troubled and flawed, but just by coincidence, he was a human being, just like all of us. It was fascinating to research the man. The most interesting things I found were from people who did know him. Most recently, after I'd even played the role, I was picked up at the airport by a driver who had been his go-to driver and security man, who was completely devoted to Roger. And Roger Ailes had even remembered him in his will. You hear things like that, and you say, well, the conventional wisdom occasionally has to be shaken up, especially if you're doing a sort of so-called nonfiction drama.
Well, you've done such a great job with this. Thank you. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Have fun tonight.
Thank you.
Back down to JD and Andrea.
All right, we're here with the one and only Brett Gelman.
Brett, you've played many characters, but few that are as admirable and do Americans as much justice as the one you currently play in Fleabag.
Yeah.
A real role model.
Yeah, no, really. Somebody that the whole country can be proud of. Yeah, no, that was my goal with the role, was to represent our country in the most respectful way I could.
And husbands, let's not forget. So good.
Yeah, men in general. I mean, he's really a great example of a guy. Yeah. No, it's really fun to play such a flawed human being. Yeah.
And looking great. GQ just named you Best Dressed of the Week, right? With Andrew Scott. How does that feel?
It feels great to be on a list with Brad Pitt and Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan. It's great. My fellow castmate Andrew Scott was also on there, so bringing that Fleabag solidarity there. Yeah, it's nice. No, it feels great. I love clothes. Yeah.
Working in the UK, doing this part, and obviously working here, is there a difference in the way that casts come together and the way the productions are when you work in US television and film versus working with Phoebe in a really entirely British kind of production?
I think there's certain logistics and whatnot. I mean, there's, working on Stranger Things, it has a different budget than Fleabag does, has to, based on the subject matter. But other than that, though, they both feel like very small shows in terms of how intimate the cast, interacts and gets along, and there's both familial environments. So it's really great. I feel really lucky to be part of both shows.
Now, if you don't follow this man on Instagram, you have to get on it. Your Instagram is so out there, and I love it. Recently, you posted a video of you dancing in a chicken suit, singing Emotionally Unavailable. Where do these ideas come from?
No, just like in my living room, like, bored out of my mind. I'm like, oh, this is really stupid. Why not? It's all right there. It's like you have access to just be a total ridiculous person right in the palm of your hand. And I think that there's an important aspect to social media, but at the same time, it's also kind of ridiculous at times. So I like to remind my followers of that.
What is your intention for the night? You're setting an intention right now.
For the evening?
Yeah.
My intention is to hopefully win gracefully and elegantly twice. It's just amazing to be in a room with all these people who have done such incredible work this year, and many of them for many years, and to be in a room with heroes. So, hopefully I get to meet some more of those heroes tonight.
Yeah, is there somebody in particular you're really excited to meet?
I mean, if I meet Robert De Niro, I'll lose my mind. That'll be crazy, yeah. I've met Al Pacino, and that was insane. But, those two, really.
I hope you meet him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to take it back to Jeremy and Lola back at the top of the carpet.
Yep,
so
here we go.
Excited
and
about who's
Miss
approaching.
Laura Dern is here.
Laura
Hi, Jeremy. It's great to see you.
Nice to see
and
you
I'm
guys.
Lola. How are you?
Hi, Lola. Very well.
Talk about having a phenomenal run. What can't you do? You wield a lightsaber. You're an attorney. You know how to rock a bandage dress. I mean, what can't you do?
I want all of those descriptions to be one person.
Right?
That's the next role I want.
You're a lovely mom and little woman. What can't you do, Laura?
Well, okay, so individual nominations, ensemble nominations, and your father's here as well.
I know.
Also nominated.
Have you seen him yet?
Haven't seen him yet.
Oh, okay.
So
Tell
you didn't come
him I
together.
say hi.
Okay.
No, he's with my stepmom. I can't wait to see him.
What is it like for your family to have this kind of event be just a family affair? This is something we do.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was raised by actors and raised literally by all their friends who were actors. So it's a very moving thing to be in this community and truly with my dearest friends, of whom I made both Marriage Story and Big Little Lies with this year. So we're all here together, which is amazing.
You were actually conceived on a movie set, a motorcycle film.
Yes.
1960.
Yes.
Yes. Tell us about the movie. I saw this interview and clearly it was great. Wild Hogs, was that what it was?
No, it was Wild Angels.
Wild Angels.
Yeah, which was amazing. And Roger Corman, who was a huge supporter of my parents early on, and many people here who started their careers with Roger Corman. And so, it's a great story to have started that way.
A lot of people want to talk to you. We got to let you go. Congrats on everything.
Thank you guys.
So great.
Thank you so much for
Have a
being
good night
here.
tonight.
Oh,
we'll help you down the
gorgeous.
stairs here.
All right.
Thanks
I think
so much. Have a good night.
The stars are just falling upon us.
We're in the thick of it now, and as the
it's
stars are showing up
fantastic.
here at the Screen Actors Guild Awards, Scarlett Johansson is here.
Scarlett
Hello, how are you?
Johansson.
We are live here, and it's so good to talk to you.
Oh, good to talk to you too, live here.
Scarlett, you've been in the business since you were a child, but it seems like you're having a phenomenal run this year. What do you attribute that to?
I really was fortunate to work with some incredible writer-directors this year, and I think sometimes it seems like there's more opportunities for women to have roles that are not, you know, the kind of sidekick, wife, other woman. You know, we're seeing a lot of opportunities for women to really play real, fully realized people, and so I attribute it to that.
Yeah, no, 2 individual nominations. Marriage Story, so great. And I got to tell you, watching the scene with you and Adam Driver, this long, drawn-out fight that goes on, not one moment didn't feel completely real and authentic. I feel like that's something for anyone to pull off. For you, getting there, how did that process work out for you, and when did you know, all right, I've got it? How many like run-throughs are you doing in the mirror before you shot? You know what I mean?
You know, it's a scene that's really specifically choreographed, and so we did a lot of rehearsals. And you know, I had such an incredible scene partner. I mean, they're really, so much of it is just being in those moments with Adam and reacting to what he was giving me and vice versa. And, you know, it's such a beautifully written scene. Everything in that scene is written, even though it feels like it's improvised in some ways, because, you know, Noah has such a amazing naturalistic way of writing, and it was a lot of fun. I know it doesn't seem like it, but we had an incredible time. I mean, there's only so many opportunities as an actor you get to do stuff like that.
Well, I think we're out of time here. By the way, Colin Jost officiating weddings is amazing. Does he have any other special skills?
All right.
I don't know. He makes great cocktails.
Okay, there you go.
Right.
We got it.
Scarlett Johansson, have a wonderful
Congrats
evening.
On everything.
Thank you. You look divine.
Oh,
you look divine.
We'll help
Thank
you
you.
off the platform there. Have a good night tonight.
Wow.
I think Mr. Brad Pitt is here.
Mr.
Hello, sir.
Brad
How are you?
Pitt.
Jeremy.
How you doing?
Right here in the middle.
You come right here.
You know, one of my favorite moments from that Golden Globes acceptance was revealing, it's the first time I had known that there was a nickname for Leonardo DiCaprio, LDC. He shouted out LDC.
I don't know if that's an official nickname, but it plays.
It plays.
It plays.
Does he have one for you? Is this like a thing?
Lover. He calls me Lover. It's a bit confusing, but I roll with it.
You roll with it. All right. I like that.
You know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's a wild, great ride. One of the things I love the most about the film is that you get to kick a lot of butt in this film.
I get to kick a little. Well, it's a Tarantino film.
Yeah.
You know?
Was that fun? Just being.
It is fun because you know how the fight ends.
Yeah.
It's not as it's not as fun when it's not scripted.
Exactly.
You know what?
Go ahead.
It feels like there's so. Let's go here. I feel like there's so many great things. I was listening to a podcast and you were jokingly talking about, oh my gosh, my personal life's a total disaster. What's the best thing about life right now for you?
Didn't I say that?
You did. You said it. It was a joke. But what's the best thing about life for Brad Pitt today?
Well, it was a beautiful day here in LA. You know, we got it well. We got it really good. It was just a beautiful day. I don't know.
What wakes you up and exciting in the
I
morning?
got lovely kids. I like my coffee. I like my dogs. You know, I have no complaints.
You also joked about anytime you stand next to someone, they assume that you're with that person.
Oh, okay. Or, hey, there we go.
It's confusing. Again.
Hey, why is the SAG Awards a special night? What's that?
Gonna sell some magazines.
We're gonna do it. Screen Actors Guild Awards. Why is it a special event compared to everything else that happens in award season?
Because it's our people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we all know what it takes to get through a 14-hour day and get up the next day and do it again. We know what it feels like to tank a scene or to nail a scene, and I don't know. There's been so much good work this year. I mean, it's incredibly prolific. I think now with the streaming services and new structures and new. I'm just seeing new stuff, and it's pretty exciting. So it's nice that we can all meet and say, hey. Love what you do.
Talk to us about working with Leonardo DiCaprio. You two have the best bromance on camera. Not since you and Clooney at Ocean's 11. This is some really good stuff. Like, what was that like for you to work with old LDC?
LDC, lover. It's just, I don't know.
What made it work? Because you almost seemed like you had a shorthand.
Listen, you'll find it with most of the guys. I don't know. I would say we're all pretty much rooting for each other. Yeah. We all have respect for each other. We all have a good laugh with each other. And it plays. And it's pretty easy. As far as that, there's an ease to it.
We're out of time. But after party, is Brad Pitt on the dance floor or what?
No,
you dancing it out?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you there.
We're not out of time. Don't leave.
Have a good night tonight. Down the carpet to JD and Andrea.
You know what? Brad Pitt's okay, but Tormund Giantsbane is awesome. We have Christopher Hivju and his lovely wife Gry, all the way from Norway or somewhere else in the European community, here on the silver carpet with us. Do you like LA? Would you like coming here?
We like to come in, do everything, and get back home to Norway.
Now, people all around are coming up to you saying, "You're my favorite from Game of Thrones, Tormund." How does that make you feel?
It's lovely, and it's like the journey of Tormund's journey has been very unexpected. He started out as an antagonist on the show, and he ended up as a comic relief and fell in love. You know, so it's been. He's changed a lot throughout this.
Well, I have to ask you about that because there were a lot of fans who were very disappointed that Tormund didn't get his true love on the show. She made some bad decisions.
Yeah.
She went off in the wrong direction, and then you're wandering away into the wilds. What happened?
Well, I don't think she ever liked him much, so I don't think there was ever a chance that it could be them. But no, but he did his best, and he wasn't very good at it.
No.
I'm not following those conspiracy theories. I think she always wanted to be with him.
They were perfect for each other. It was a shame. You're also famous in the United States for doing a lot of commercials. You work here a lot now. Do you like working in America as an actor, and how is it different than, jetting all over Europe doing these swashbuckling epics?
Well, you shoot everywhere nowadays, and we have kids back home, and we like to stay home as well. So it's like
getting forth and back.
Forth and back.
Yeah.
So you travel. That's the fantastic thing.
Well, like the Vikings, roaming the seas, finding new places to be. I'm going to toss it over to the top of the carpet where Rachel Brosnahan is
No, we're
talking.
actually going to stay here because Rachel's right here.
Oh, Rachel's here.
Yes, thank
I
you
messed
so
that
much.
entire transition up.
You're doing
and it was
amazing.
crazy.
Thank you
but
so
that
much.
was just fun anyway.
And
Nice to
Rachel
see you.
Brosnahan is coming
Rachel
in.
Brosnahan. Come in.
Midge herself.
Rachel, I want to tell you that I thought you were at the other side of the carpet, so I did a whole spiel about how you were there.
Oh no!
But
We're
now
just
you're
doing
here.
our best. Oh dear!
It's sort of
I'm here.
mortifying, but you know about live performance now that you have been playing this part. Have you gotten good at comedy? Do you think you could do stand-up now?
No. I bow down to stand-up comedians. It's a really, really hard job, and I can't imagine having to actually do it.
What happened there?
I just got photobombed by a very handsome man.
Maybe look for him later.
I just heard that you had an injury, right? Because of the corset. What is going on? Clear this up.
Blown a little bit out of proportion.
What really happened?
Very minor injury. But I wear a corset on the show. It's not meant to make me smaller. It's just meant to make my waist longer to fit the style of the time. But we talk so fast on the show that you don't necessarily breathe very deeply, and so I have sort of fused some ribs together or something, some very physical therapy speak, and I'm working on taking deep breaths once more.
Okay. Now season 4 is going to be coming out. It was announced. Very exciting. So you haven't started filming yet, right?
We'll start filming probably late spring.
Okay. What's one thing that Midge hasn't done yet that you would love to do?
Oh boy. Well, Amy keeps telling me that the audiences are just going to get bigger and bigger, and that one day she might play a stadium of some sort. So I don't know that I want to do that, but some part of me is excited to give it a whirl.
And when I interviewed you at the Emmys, you said that you keep your awards on the toilet because it's New York, small part. So how many more awards is it going to take for you to make its case of its own?
I think we are putting a shelf in. We've gotten a lot of grief about the toilet storage, and so a shelf is going in, I promise.
Now, you got this weekend, and then Sundance starts, and you're in a movie with Benedict Cumberbatch that's going to be premiering at Sundance.
Yeah.
Total different tone shift. Working with him, what was that like?
Oh, it was so amazing. He's a consummate professional. He's so talented. I've been a fan of his for such a long time, and to be able to watch him work up close was really fantastic. We're excited to share the film.
Well, thank you so much for stopping. I love you so much. Also, just found out you were born in Milwaukee. Yeah, so we have that in common because I'm from Wisconsin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin.
How funny.
I know. Congratulations on everything. And yeah, take care. Have a fun time. All right, we're staying here because Maya Hawke is joining us now.
We're going to get the wonderful Maya Hawke from Stranger Things.
Hello, you look beautiful. How are you
Hey,
feeling?
Maya.
My best. I feel really good and nervous and happy to be here and honored, and
meeting lots of people that are amazing. I'm such a big fan of the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. That was so cool to see her.
You were so great in Stranger Things.
Thanks.
Amazing. It's like a little reunion here. What has it been like seeing everybody?
Oh, it's been really amazing. I mean, it's such an incredible honor to be a part of that ensemble. Everyone comes together and works so well together to tell that crazy, wild, powerful story, and I feel so lucky to be a part of it.
All right, we could talk to you forever, but we got to head back down the carpet. Have so much fun today and
Nice to
tonight.
see you.
We're heading back down to Jeremy Lala with Charlize Theron.
Yeah, here we go. Charlize Theron is here talking about many things and enjoying the accoutrement down the middle of the part. That looks amazing. What's the look here, if you had to describe it?
I didn't have time to do my roots.
So throw some bling up there. Takes care of it.
So my lovely friend Ajir said, why don't we just put a Tiffany necklace bracelet in there? Yeah.
Charlize, we've got to talk about Bombshell. I mean, you just perfectly nailed Megyn Kelly. I mean, Megyn Kelly's somewhere like, who am I? Because Charlize is me.
It's very sweet.
Talk to me about how you went about researching her and how did you nail the tone of her voice?
Yeah, you know, the good thing about playing somebody who's that well known is that there's a lot of footage. There's a lot to read about. There's a lot for your research. And then you just have to kind of sit and do it. Like, that's really, like, the voice, I wasn't even convinced that we were going to get anywhere. But I work with an incredible dialect coach, Carla Meyer, who we should have a nomination for dialect coaches, and she would win it this year, because I still don't know how she does her work.
Very quickly before you go, we've had several co-stars on People Now who have all said that you have just an incredibly filthy sense of humor.
That is not true.
I want to know where it came from. Who's it from?
I think you get everything from your mother. That's what I hear.
All right, we're out of time. They're pulling you down the carpet on that question.
Thank you,
Have a great night
Charlize.
tonight.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
You
Down
look
to JD
incredible.
and Thank you.
What do we have?
She once went to a slumber party at the Brady house. He once was on the Love Boat.
That's
All
right.
kinds of things happen in this town.
Gangway for the 70s and the 80s.
Yes.
They're
Was
coming
ama-
back.
And here they are. Incredible season for you. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. People really embraced it. One of the things I wanted to ask you about was it seemed to hit a moment, a tone in this country, people really feeling stressed and anxious. There's something wonderful about that. Were you thinking about that when you were making it, or are you just doing your Mr. Rogers thing?
I have to give Mari Heller, our director, an awful lot of credit. She was interested in making a movie about men and their feelings, which I'm glad she didn't tell us that till we're halfway through. I don't think Matthew and I would have dared do a movie in which
you might have
we're gonna
shut that
try to
down.
explore
Yeah,
our feelings.
yeah.
It's the last thing we want to do. But I think it was its lack of cynicism, which seems to be a default setting for an awful lot of public entertainment and a lot of discussion that goes on, and I think it was refreshing to an awful lot of people who don't get that very much.
It's so amazing. It makes me think about happiness and my approach to finding happiness within myself. For both of you, what is something that you encounter every day or something that makes you happy? Maybe it's a small thing, maybe it's a big thing.
I get up every morning, and I know this may sound corny, but I say prayers of gratitude, because every morning that I wake up, I think is already a gift. I'm here, and I'm going to make the best of the day. So just waking up is pretty good. I don't know if that sounds corny.
Don't discount the power of being able to wake up. That's
consciousness is
that's
important.
Powerful.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Now, your singing has been a real labor of love for you, and you've been her biggest champion.
Thank you.
So what's next on the music front for you?
I'm going down next weekend to Brandy Carlisle's festival in Mexico that's called Girls Just Want a Weekend. It's an all-female lineup. It is so much fun. I'm really looking forward to doing that. And then I'm going to be touring some military bases in Southeast Asia over the spring in March.
How proud are you of her and all the work?
I have new albums, new music coming out.
Being able to go to a club and watch her sing, or go to a big venue and watch her sing, or listen to her stuff, it's a delicious meal for me. I just get to sit back and take in beauty and grandeur, and her dedication is a great inspiration. I gotta say.
You two are so busy, but I want to know if you get a night off, what is a date night for you two?
Sweatpants. A good movie on DVD.
Changed a little bit, right? We're happy to stay home on a date night because we go out so much. So it's really, really nice to just stay home, watch a great movie, stream something.
Here's where I know the night like that is going to be great. When she says, "Hey, honey, can you whip me up a little martini?" And then I know.
There it is.
It's going to be a nice night.
There amongst the typewriter
There it is.
collection and the music, it happens. A beautiful grand couple on a beautiful grand night.
you.
Thank you guys for stopping by.
Thank you. Back to Jeremy and Lola.
So great to see you.
All right, here are the real
All right.
stars,
Yes,
everybody.
that's right. Right now we're joined by People Editor-in-Chief Dan Wakeford and Zoe Ruderman, editor of People Digital. How are you guys doing tonight? We are having a blast.
It's amazing. The biggest red carpet in years.
It really is.
I'm still coming down from that Brad Pitt high, so I don't know if I can form complete sentences yet.
I'm coming down from it too.
I need a cigarette.
Dan, this is your first year as the king of people running the show here. How is the SAG Awards feeling a little different to you?
Well, I think they all came out for me tonight.
I think
There's
that's
so
right. Yeah,
many
yeah.
stars.
They heard.
I mean, it's so exciting here because it's like big stars, big performances. It just makes for an amazing show and an amazing evening.
It really does.
Zoe, tell us what we can expect inside and what's in those gift bags.
This party is always so much fun. I feel like people come to party, they drink a lot, they're all celebratory. There's no press except for us inside, so we kind of have to kick them off the dance floor at the end of the night. I want to see Leo dancing, I want to see Brad dancing, I want to see Jeremy in the middle of that dance.
I will gladly get in the middle. I've been working on my really sad skills. It's terrible. It's embarrassing. I'll try. Let's talk about this. People has managed to maintain a really good partnership with the Screen Actors Guild. Why has that been so important over the years and as it continues to move forward in years ahead?
I mean, I think the SAG Awards is really important to us because they celebrate two things as really big for people. They celebrate actors. We've had a lot of actors on the cover of the magazine over the years, obviously. But also they celebrate giving back. And these are two things that we love at People. So we've been a partner with them for 24 years. It's a great organization and does great work.
Really quickly, other than Brad Pitt, who were each of you most excited to see this evening? And you, Zoe.
I mean, I'm excited to see Jennifer Aniston, Charlize Theron, Leo. I mean, there's so many names.
It's like the most A-list list that it's been in a really long time. I saw Cynthia Erivo pass by, and I want to see her whole look. I want to see that dress again. I want to see the diamonds. I'm really excited about it.
You know, we were talking about this. You got the A-list stars, but the work that they're doing, the projects, the movies and TV shows that they're all participating in are just incredible. For your personal taste, what has really stuck out to you this year?
I loved Marriage Story. It was my favorite. I was scared to watch it, but I loved it. I thought every single performance was unbelievable.
That's a good one. Good choice. Dan, how about you?
I loved Charlize as Megyn Kelly. I thought that was just flawless and so eerie. And it's just like her versus Renee. It's crazy. You've got two people who'd win any other year, like competing against each other.
That's going to be one of the toughest categories of the night. But if you're a betting man, and I have heard you are, who do you think is going to walk away with the grand prize this evening?
I mean, I think it's interesting because it's all actors voting for this, so it's very much about the craft and what they see in the role. I think it's likely to be Renee.
All right, I guess we have Harvey Keitel down the carpet with JD and Andrea. Thank you both for being here tonight.
Thank you.
And we'll toss it down to you guys.
We're here with the amazing Harvey Keitel and his lovely wife. Nice to see the two of you together. Daphne, nice to see you. I would love to ask you now, when Al was talking the other day, he was talking about the fact that he has known you. You guys have all known each other for now, what, almost half a century. So when back to Mean Streets. Is it nice to get together and do this all again, or is it just a pain in the neck to walk down and talk to me?
No, never a pain in the neck. We're here to celebrate our work. That's a wonderful thing.
And one of the things about this film that people say is that really in some ways it completes a story cycle that you guys began telling through many other films in terms of...
Our story cycle is not completed.
No, there's more stories to do.
There's more stories to tell.
Yeah. Well, the SAG Awards is all about the actors. The SAG Awards is all about the actors and celebrating actors. Do you remember the first project that got you your SAG card?
It's probably something I lied about. It was very difficult to get a SAG card back in those days. I don't remember. Well, I became a member of Actors Equity first, because in New York at that time, the honorable thing was to become a member of Actors Equity. That's right, I got it now. And then you could purchase your SAG card without being in the movie. But you couldn't do it reverse. Actors Equity would not take you if you only had a SAG card.
And for all the actors out there watching, I mean, you're such a legend. You've done so many projects. What is your biggest piece of advice to actors out there trying to make it in this business?
To remember a message of the great Konstantin Stanislavski. Russian director was the father of our method. There are no small parts, only small actors. Okay.
When you worked on this project, when you got the call to do this, do you remember did you even hesitate a second to get back? I mean, obviously Mean Streets, Taxi Driver, all the movies you've done with Marty. Was there any, hesitation to get back together with everybody? And how long did it take you to sort of prepare for this particular part?
There was no hesitation at all. The script was terrific, and we were eager to engage each other once again.
And for you, what's been the best part about being here and supporting your husband?
Well, the weather isn't bad. We're New Yorkers, but we love we love the group that we're with, and we're having fun. It's a bit like a banquet, every night.
All right, he's pulling you away.
The
Thanks for
Keitels
stopping
have
by.
to go. And go enjoy themselves inside. So we'll toss it back to you guys at the top of the red carpet.
Yeah, here we go, guys. We're joined again by former president, creative director of J. Crew, Jenna Lyons. Jenna, let's talk about some of your favorite looks tonight.
There were a lot. I mean, I think one of my favorite looks with Catherine Newton. I don't know if you saw her in the beautiful neon gown, and Cynthia Erivo, one of my own personal faves in that.
Head to toe, right? And the jewels and everything.
The beautiful necklace that trailed down the back of her neck. It was stunning, absolutely beautiful. I think both of the boys, Andrew and Brett from Fleabag, I don't know if you saw them wearing a little mauve-colored tux and a deep jewel tone. I was right, actually. There were a lot of predicaments that I actually predictions.
The predicaments and predictions that you got exactly right.
Yeah, tons of tulle, which again was very exciting to see.
You called that earlier. Were there some other trends that you observed?
I mean, the other thing I loved was seeing the tuxedos that have broken apart. I thought Charlize Theron's look, where it was actually the diamantes on top and then the tux sort of look to the bottom. That again sort of speaks to taking the tuxedo and sort of breaking it apart.
And those diamonds down the parts.
So
on fire.
Loved.
So good.
Diamonds.
They are tossing us. They're wrapping us up here. We want to talk more about them. Anyway, all right. Okay. Let's toss back down to JD and Andrew.
Well, few people have done more for siblings or intense professional women, or in fact, anxiety in general, than Sean Clifford on Fleabag. Sean, one of the great things about your character this season is when you first meet her, she's not very likable, let's be honest. And as you get to know her,
I beg to differ.
you get to, let me finish, there's a good part. You get to know that she's actually extremely sensitive and she's actually a caring person who's been through a lot. And was that all revealed to you when you started to read for this part, when you started to read the scripts, or did you kind of get to know her the way we did, more gradually?
I've been playing this part for 10 years, but you've only known her for 4.
Oh, well, that's true. I did forget the theatrical part of that.
Yeah, well, I wasn't in the stage play, but the first incarnation of Claire was in a sketch that Phoebe wrote in 2009. Yeah. So that's the first time I met Claire, and I kind of loved her because just like all of us, I mean, you say she's sensitive, but she's just human, We're all flawed, but perfectly human, I like to say, and I think someone like Claire, and actually all the characters in Fleabag, embody that so beautifully, and I think that's maybe why it's resonated with so many people.
And it's just so funny. Also, we have to talk about this pantsuit because this is incredible. Tell me about it.
It's a little Zuhair Murad couture suit. I'm a little bit nervous about getting the old flesh out, but yeah, I've had some wonderful moral support from my team, so gone for it, yeah.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Well, the moral support is important, and obviously this cast is very special. Having had such a long experience with Phoebe and seeing all of that has happened globally with this project must be just phenomenal to you since you started doing sketches and playing that part. Has it surprised you that this has resonated so globally?
Yeah, oh my God. I mean, it was almost like there was a void that we didn't know existed, but Fleabag needed to fill it. Yeah, it's been crazy. Like, we're so happy to be here. This is our last award season, or our last awards ceremony in America, and yeah, we're just here to party and celebrate, and it's just been such a wild ride, but we're so happy.
Yeah, speaking of partying, who from the Fleabag cast lets loose the most?
Say that again?
Who from the Fleabag cast lets loose the most?
Well, Phoebe. No, Phoebe's like the party starter. Actually, Brett Gelman's pretty good at keeping a party going, I gotta say, yeah. One of your countrymen. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Claire's journey, when we left Claire, she was really at a pretty significant moment in her life. I'm wondering where you'd like to see the character go and how much interaction you and Phoebe have about talking about where Clara is going beforehand, or do you just plunk it down and say this is what's happening, or do you engage pretty collaboratively about her trajectory?
I mean, Phoebe writes it, but she's so open, and we're very close collaborators. We actually met at drama school 16 years ago, so we have a sort of trust and a dialogue with each other that, it's so we definitely discuss things, and we really value each other's opinion. But ultimately, she creates the character, she writes the character. She did write it for me. But what she did, I think, so amazingly in season 2 is she wrote to all of our strengths. She really seized on that, and everyone is so beautifully drawn and embodies their characters so wonderfully. We're often in a bit of a pull and push of me giving all the credit to her and she giving it back to me, but I'm sure we'll find a balance in there somewhere someday.
Well, isn't that nice? Very lovely for you to stop by and tell us a little bit about that creative partnership that you forged, and all my hopes for Claire. It's been hard. Anyway, we're going to send it back to the Jeremy and Lola at the top of the red carpet.
Yeah, lots of hopes and dreams there. And I'll just tell you this, lots of hopes and dreams fulfilled tonight, right? Like talking to these incredible stars. But for you, JD and Andrea, if you had to kind of sum up some of your favorite moments, we're almost out of time here, guys, by the way. We're going to be leading right into the actual broadcast in just a couple minutes. But for JD and Andrea, what were your top moments tonight down there?
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was wonderful. And also just seeing everybody mix it up together. I mean, I think one of the best parts of this show is just seeing the juxtaposition of people. Everybody from Brad Pitt to Sean Phillips here. Everybody is so talented and great, and they kind of all admire one another. And of course, Schitt's Creek, seeing those people was fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of kids over here.
A lot of kids. It was a juvenile arrangement over here. It was good.
It was pretty fun. JD learned how to floss.
I did. I learned how to floss, and I think I have a future in early childhood education, so I'm good.
Also, Rachel Brosnahan was a big highlight for me. I've interviewed her a few times.
And you've been on the show.
I have been on the show.
Yeah,
so we have a little connection there. So I always love seeing her, and she's so gracious and wonderful.
Yeah. What about you guys? What were you just psyched about?
Yeah, thank you. And thank you guys very much. It's been a fun time tonight. Yeah, Andrea was in, what was it, season 1, episode 3. Check it out, guys. Changed the whole series.
She plays the murderer. That's not true.
Spoiler.
I'm going to spoil it. There's one line.
Thank you guys very much. Lola, what do you think? What is? Yeah.
Brad Pitt. I mean, Brad Pitt. He wanted you. He wanted me.
Leo.
He wanted Leo.
I will tell you guys this. We do a lot of these types of things, and celebrities are around in these types of events. It's very rare for there to be a star that stops this kind of a room.
True.
Everyone stopped in their tracks when Brad Pitt was here after he walked off the stage, and we turned around. Every camera was out. It's interesting to be around that kind of star power and just a lovely guy based on our conversation, but also incredible actor. And that, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I feel like we're going to see a lot of love tonight.
I think it's going to be a big night for Brad. Also, just seeing Cynthia Erivo. I know she's your friend now, too, but she was my friend first. It was great to see her. Robert De Niro, Laura Dern, Charlize Theron, the list goes on and on. We had wonderful people here with us this evening.
Jennifer Aniston. Billy Crudup. I don't know if you guys are into the morning show like we've been.
I am
just incredible,
obsessed.
Right? The show's just making so many incredible strides. And anyway, we can talk about this all night. And the Cast of Parasite. Oh my gosh.
The Cast of Parasite.
So good.
Best movie of the year.
We'll keep talking about all this as we go, but thank you so much for watching. You've been watching People, Entertainment Weekly, and TNT's Red Carpet Live, straight from the 26th Annual Screen Actors Guild Awards, which will be simulcast live on TNT and TBS from the Shrine Auditorium here in LA. In just a few minutes, it's right back there. We can't wait to get into this show. Lola, what a great night we've had. We hope you guys will join us again tomorrow for more news and style from the SAG Awards at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on People TV. We'll be breaking down backstage interviews, the biggest trends of the night. Everyone, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.
It's from Stranger Things and Vitaly Tadinger. And now, join us for the 26th celebration of the Screen Actors Guild Awards.
Hi, I got my SAG card in 1976. It was for an indie film. I don't remember what it was, but it was the 70s and everyone was really, really high. I am Christina Applegate, and I am an actor.
I had my first foray in the local nativity play. I was in the coveted role as the shepherd. Everyone lauded my performance. I was hooked. I was 5 years old. My name is Cynthia Erivo, and I'm an actor.
I grew up in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, which was the Pittsburgh of the North. Big steel town, and the most popular actor to come out of my hometown was the guy who did all those toilet paper commercials years ago, the guy who played Mr. Whipple. Mr. Whipple worked in a supermarket, and every time he saw a customer squeeze the toilet paper to see how soft it was, it would infuriate him, and he would glare at these people and say, "Don't squeeze the Charmin." And I used to laugh at that. And I dreamt that maybe one day I could be the next Mr. Whipple. My name is Eugene Levy, and another thought just occurred to me. Yeah, when I was 10, back in the mid-50s, I was a big Sid Caesar fan, and I would do my best to transcribe the script from one of his comedy sketches that I was watching on television, in real time, of course, because in those days we didn't have a VCR machine to record and play it back. There was no pause button you could hit and then write it down. I was scribbling as I went there. And I would take that script, and me and a few of my buddies who had no show business aspirations whatsoever,
Dad.
we would get together and perform the sketch, and it was always a pale version of what the original was, because we weren't professionals.
Yeah, I'm sure. What are you doing?
I'm doing my How I Became an Actor speech.
I see. Well, you've taken 3 times as long as everybody else, and you're still not finished.
My story's complex.
Okay, well, you've used up so much time, they're telling us they had to cut Tom Hanks, so.
Well, that's all right. I know Tom. He's a good guy. He'll take it well. That was the Mr. Whipple look.
Okay, can you just say the line so we can start the show?
All right, fine. Okay. I need the music. My name is Eugene Levy, and I am an actor. And let's start the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, nominated for cast.
Live coverage of the SAG Awards continues now on the TNT app and at TNTDrama.com.